right here. I just started it right now. So we just like that. So we just going. So yeah, it's the Caleb Jackson podcast. I'm here with Moondrip Squad. Or y'all have a specific name, y'all? Moondrip, straight up.
Yes, sir.
All right, yes. Introduce yourselves. I got my boy right here.
Nazar.
Yes, sir.
DanielSan.
DanielSan.
Bonjour, I'm ZaynoRayne.
ZaynoRayne, yes, sir. So I met these guys very, we talk about it just very organically, just passing through, and this happened like this. So I mean,
cool
we here. Yeah,
about, art and everything.
Art, creativity, just music. Speaking of, these guys just gave a really good performance last night. Awesome performance at the where were you at? Where were you at? Yes, last night. Put on the
Grand Stafford Theater.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the Grand Stafford Theater.
How'd y'all feel before the performance? Going up on stage before.
Man, I can't speak for Daniel, but at least for me, it's just the day of and just getting ready to go. It's I didn't feel anything. That's what I was worried about. So it's I know it's just it was only until I got on the stage I felt all the nerves, and that's something I was worried about. I used to swim for 10 years, very competitively, and that's how I always was. Going up to meet, I'd be nervous, get butterflies, but it wasn't until I was in the pool about to perform, about to swim, I got nervous. So I felt good, and I was just happy. Just a lot of raw emotions, running around doing things. So I felt pretty good. And then once I got on stage, everything was a blur.
Yeah. I was scared.
Okay, I was scared too.
Shit, but be honest, bro. Honestly,
I was nervous. I seen my boy Keith come out there and tear it up, and he got up there. He was like, "Bro, I ain't gonna lie."
Keith,
he go crazy.
Keith.
What's the last name?
His real name's Kevin Jun,
Kevin
J-U-N.
Okay, Jay. Okay.
Kithy's his stage name, right?
Yeah, he's a Korean American rapper. Wonderful guy. He raps, he sings. He did drill music. He did
hella energy.
Hella good energy. Yeah, got a lot of good reviews about him. I met him at a listening party at A&M, the school of performance visualization.
That was the day you met him?
Yeah, that day that remember when we were all in the studio?
Yeah.
There's a recording studio at A&M, and
That's
we
crazy.
all usually meet once a week. And that week I invited them to the recording studio, so we pulled up in the studio. But before that, there was a listening party, and so I met Keith over there. And the same songs that y'all saw him perform was what he was playing in front of professors and teachers. So yeah. So
he's very bold.
yeah, it was. I had people looking at me yeah, but I was man, this is hip hop. People go out there, they say with their chest, bro. He went out there, he's confident, and I mean, he signed to a label. I think it's called ATK Records or something like that. But
where's that out of?
I think Austin.
Okay.
I think they're stationed out of Austin. I think it's with him and his people, or Dallas maybe. I don't know, but he's been doing music for a long time, so he was good. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Daniel, you was right, but it's just looking up to Daniel and I don't think I was as scared because I had such a good amount of people that I knew were there, and it was in the theater that I work at for a year. So I think that's why I wasn't as nervous. It wasn't I'm in a weird crowd. It's I spent a lot of nights just running sound for people or working outside the door. So I think that's why I wasn't too worried about it.
Okay. And so when you got up there, you just kind of let it go. You said
okay, so it's like this. I've performed before. My biggest thing is I'm not afraid to perform, right?
Okay.
I'm afraid of messing up my performance. You see what I mean? So if I'm not locked in with my lyrics or my stage presence, or I'm too stiff, it's gonna bother me. Cause I like to perfect this thing. Eventually where I go in there and I'm just doing my thing, and then I get off and I'm oh, that was loud. Instead of did they catch that last part?
Yeah.
Did they know I freestyled the rest of this because I forgot my lyrics? That's what I think about. So I got sauced up, I ain't gonna lie. I had to try the night drive, and then I came in with the Moondrip. I said, man, that's too sweet. It's
specialty drinks. Yeah.
Crazy.
I didn't get to try them. I didn't even know.
You should have, bro. The house, every show they do specialty drinks for the bands or artists, and Moondrip was the big gift wrap around this entire show. So
yeah, I'm gonna get it next time though. We're gonna do more over there for sure.
Oh yeah,
they're definitely happy. I mean, I was just at the theater right now. That's why I was a little bit late here. But I went there. They're still buzzing about it. We're proud of you. You did it well. You did it good. So
You just opened hella fucking doors for a lot of people.
Listen, man, they don't.
Yeah, I felt that. No, I felt that while I was in there. Cause like I was telling y'all, I was like, man, like, how do we get like more people in this thing?
Bro,
like, you know, I was like, cause the way y'all had that thing jumping, I was like, I felt the energy. I was like, this is gonna be something. You know what I'm saying?
You know how many people came last night that were like, I'm not even gonna stay that long. I'm just here to pop by, and then they ended up staying the whole night. Because you just feel the energy when you get there. It's like, damn, you don't want to miss this. Yeah. That's how we have to like show people that like not even like show them, but like let them know that it's out here in College Station too. It's just hard because at A&M, bro, you could be locked into that echo chamber and never even know what the Grand Stafford Theater
That's crazy.
was ever. Never even hear the name.
That was me.
A lot of people don't know about it. You know, just like the little like hidden gems that are like, within the city that can like produce something that like that. You know what I'm saying?
Shoot, even First Friday, bro. Like I've been here my entire life.
Same.
I always know First Friday, but I ain't never went.
Exactly.
We pull out there, you learning like, dang, I could really get a booth over here. And
it's hella people out there, bro.
So many people, bro. The way I see it is, doing something like this to the older generation, they'll say, okay, this is risky business. You know, you got to go get you a regular job, stay to what you know, stick to what you know. But like, starting to see, bro, that everything that we need to make get to the next level is right in front of us. There's someone who can do something that benefits every key component that you're looking for. And it's like, yo, I just got to get my lazy ass up, you know, go talk to these people because we can change each other's lives. Shoot, we're doing it now.
Like emphasis on what he just said, because I met Zayno just because I decided not to be lazy. He same thing. Like we just it's like tiny moments where you're just like, all right, should I do this or should I not? And it's like, just say fuck it. And especially if you're doing something creative, which is gonna push you out of your shell. Even if you're scared, that's like more incentive to get that done, because you're gonna feel so good after.
Because I think we talked about it, but it's like, I just feel like in a place like College Station, I'm not saying it's like it's non-existent. I'm just saying it seems like it's a small town compared to places that we know, like Atlanta or New York or like Houston, Austin. It's like it just seems like we can't miss on an opportunity to meet somebody or go to a podcast or go to the Vortex Studios, a runway show. Like, I didn't even know there was a place called Vortex Studios where they had a warehouse and they do art clubs every Friday. Like, I had no idea.
Vortex is gonna be very key in the next coming phases.
You be collabing with them, so it's like, I mean, if because we met because we had a mutual friend of ours named Sean Powell. She did something called Forward Movement.
Another person who's doing creative shit out here.
Very creative, and it's like it was like for models around A&M, and it's like I was scared to do it because I was like, I don't want to.
Bro, I've never modeled before. She asked me on the whim. I was like, bro, should I even do this shit? Bro, that was the first time they had to perfect my walk. I know I look goofy as fuck, but shit, I was like doing it. They were encouraging me, so I was like, shit, this is the type of energy I want to be around anyway. So fuck it, I'll just do it.
Trying new things, just stepping out there and just seeing what comes.
That's right. Yeah, and it was a great experience at the end of the day.
So like, cause we all work right now, right? So, would you make the same money just making music? Would you be okay making the same money just making music that you're making at your job right now if you're just doing what you do? If you didn't have to work?
Well, what do you mean, like the
what you get, like what you make now, the money you make now? If you're just making music and then making that same money from that, how would you be?
I would choose to do music. I just think there's a lot more creativity and freedom you can do. Where it's like, at least like what I'm like, I love what I do. I study public health. Like I want to go into healthcare. Like that's something I always grew up loving, wanting to help people. But it's like during my time in College Station and like going to college, it's like I found a musical calling, and all my life I didn't feel like I could cater to it because I was always doing other things. So it's like now I'm drifting towards that. So, but that's the reality of it. I won't be making as much, nearly like enough money as much as like I am if I was pursuing this healthcare. So that's where we are in a spot where we have to think about it. Where like how you said, the older generations like don't take a risk, and then now it's like our generation's like, take a risk. I mean,
life's too short.
Why not? So it's like, I just think if things weren't happening the way they were happening now, I think I'd listen more to what my good family and people around me and my peers, and I would do that. So I'm still gonna pursue like this healthcare, but at the same time, like in a year of like working at this theater, and now I'm able to throw shows. Now I'm able to put DanielSan as a headliner. I'm able to put some of these artists out there. Like, it's just crazy, and it's not something I would imagine coming into Aggieland. So I mean, I don't know if I want to, pull the plug on that just yet, because I mean, I don't know, I'm not gonna lie, I got on that stage, I got a little bit of the light. That microphone was like in front of me. Something came out of me, so
you start feeling it, like you just started.
I was if I go back and I pull up some videos, I was looking like a crack addict, like I was screaming and screeching, like
your hair was going everywhere.
Literally, bro. Like I don't even know if I want to send my mom this video. She'll think I'll be possessed, bro. So,
I'm really bringing it out tonight.
But I do want to say thank you to Daniel, because there was this is gonna go back to something we said earlier, and it's like when you asked me if I was nervous, there was a time where he saw I'd be running around that entire night, and there was a time where Daniel multiple times would be like, hey, how you feeling? He just reminded me, like, hey, how you feeling? You feeling good? This then I'd be like, yeah. So I think that helped me a lot, because remember when I said, well, look at this crowd for New Boy, Kid Keith, like I hope they'll stay for our performances, and you're like, once they hear you, once they hear Celestial, they ain't gonna have a choice but to stay. And you were right.
They all stayed.
And they did. So you helped me feel comfortable enough too as well. So
you went up there twice?
Oh man, bro.
Wait, so you went up there?
No. I performed once.
Okay.
So once I was on stage, once I got off, that was it.
Okay.
But one thing about something I've learned, bro. I did a show in Austin back in March, and it was a big deal. And so I'm waiting. I'm not a headliner or nothing like that. It's just a little showcase. So I'm just trying to get mine and get up out of there. But bro, it took me. Long story short, this is what happened. So I'm supposed to go on at 4 p.m. Because there's a lot of people there. It's South by Southwest. So it's a lot of in and out situations happening. I'm there. I'm turned up. I'm not getting frustrated. Nothing like that. Everybody like, man, I've been here about 4 hours. What's going on? I'm like, man, look, I'm just happy to be here, bro. Like, I ain't even tripping. But 4 o'clock come, I'm looking at the DJ like, hey, you ready? Like, I'm ready. Doesn't happen. 6 o'clock come. Hey, man, my family, we here. We've been here, though, for quite some time. 9 o'clock come. Hey, man, look, it's just, I want to support y'all. I want to make sure y'all make it, do your thing. But the whole time is, bro, I ended up performing at 3 a.m. at a whole nother location. But during that entire time, bro, everybody that's dealing with that head on right then and there, I just found myself helpful, useful. Like,
push
hey,
mic
man.
a little bit closer to your mouth.
Oh, yeah.
You good,
I felt myself, useful. I was like, you know what? Let me take this situation, and they're going to remember me still, even if I don't perform right now. I'm going around, hey, man, you good? Hey, don't worry about it. Hey, go kill this shit. You got it. Don't even know them. Don't have to. Whatever was meant for them in that moment, they went and they did their thing, bro. And at the end of it, bro, it's so crazy. I'll never forget it. The promoter of the one that created the whole situation, he's getting into it with some of my people because they're mad. I'm cool though. I'm humble mode. Like, I'm not even tripping. This in itself is cool. I get to meet people. You know what I mean? But they're getting into it. And Buddy was like, he must have not had a good night because he was ready for action, bro. And me, I come from the trenches, but that's not the time we on. Yeah. Plus, I got my sister with me. She can't see how we get down. So I'm like, wait, hold on. Look, man, first and foremost, I congratulate you, bro, for putting on a show like this. He looked at me so crazy. He expected me to, man, getting wild with him. But now I'm like, bro, if I cool you down and everybody vibing, really, at the end of the day, everybody's still, frustrated. But if I can ease it in there for a little bit, they can be like, man, something about him. Let me go do my research. He make music like this? Wait, what? Yeah, no, now you know. And I didn't even touch the mic yet. So, definitely encouraging other people, bro, because they're going to be there to encourage you. When you came up closer, bro, all I was thinking was, bro, I don't care what nobody say. That's my cousin. My blood family was there, but I'm like, bro, that's him. Yeah. Because this was possible. Of course I'm finna be there. And plus I can read the room very well. So if someone's tinkering or they're doing this, oh yeah, come on, let's have a little session real quick. Let's get that out the system. Remember, you're great. All right, go ahead. I love that, bro. That's really what this is all about for me. Oh yeah.
Just passing on some good energy to anybody you walk to. It's funny because we were talking about that at work today, actually, with my coworkers. One of my coworkers, he said we actually did a podcast together, and he said, "Oh no, you good." We did a podcast together, and he said he was meditating the other day and meditating on leading with the heart and leading out of love, not to gain love. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yeah, same way you just said, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just like you can take it one way or another. And like the past couple weeks, I've been having like little like tiffs conversations where I'm getting like up out of myself. You know what I'm saying? And I've been feeling it, and then I'm like, you know, like just reel it back, you know, because at the end of the day, like stuff like that's not worth it. You know what I mean? Right. When you can pass on something that's like would not only help you in the long run, but then like you situation like that, you never know how it can pop off. You know, so it might help that person in the long run. Like, damn, you know, they walk off mad. You know, realize, damn, you know, I was fucking up and shit. You know, so.
Just nobody's gonna win from a fight. Like, you can knock some dude out, but you still gonna be mad somehow.
That's what I'm saying. You know,
like he can be down there, you can still be pissed off. Like, man, why he try? Like, why he try? I'm like, no. And that's like the thing. Like, that was another issue. Like, especially for like hip hop or anything around downtown Bryan or like anywhere from what I've seen, is because that's a worry. It's like anybody can do anything, and people are gonna get heated. They're gonna get drunk. But last night, literally, it blew people's perspective. I mean. There was only one bartender supposed to work, and then there was another one who ended up staying. Like, he's the you know, this other staff member, he was just gonna come for a couple shows, a couple songs, that's it. But nah, like, more people came. It was a good crowd, good energy. People were buying drinks, people were having a good time, and there was no problem. So when things like that happen, it makes me happy, and it's just like that. It's like, because I think you said do out of love instead of
for gaining love.
Instead of like just trying to gain love.
Do it out of love. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Because I mean, like, when I put on that show last night, I was like, I'm not going around to people be like, give me this, give me this, give me that. Like, no, like, we went around, we worked around it, we talked, we got photo shoots together, we coordinated for it, we showed up, we did rehearsals, we did this, we did that, and now we came out and gave people good times. What we gotta do.
And it was easy, just like that. You know, nothing like that you had to like overwork for or like stress about or anything like that. It just kind of just came all together, you know, just like
I mean, behind like in the like behind the scenes, there's definitely a lot of stress, and I think my girl can and Nazar can attest to that.
It's definitely something that's been in the works for a few months now. So like seeing it happen was definitely like fulfilling at the end of the day, because that's the type of grand type thinking we're doing. We're planning something now that might not pop off for like a year or two. You know, so just gotta stick with the confidence and the patience behind it.
Go ahead and talk about what you were saying earlier with how you started Moondrip, or like why you started Moondrip, and just where you see it going in the journey y'all are on.
It basically
go ahead.
I just have to clear my throat real quick. But it ties into what y'all were talking about earlier, really, with the connections and shit, because like he was doing like somebody else, like there's so many domino effects when you do something like that. Like if that situation went south, so money, time, energy wasted, and then boom, like nobody gets an experience where they're able to come here and talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So now like you just put yourself in that situation where you want to make sure people are having the greatest, just making sure the environment is provided for, it's safe. Because my whole thing is, I'm not really a very directing person. I don't like to make sure like every piece of it is going according to a plan. I'm just there to provide the platform, like the room, the situation, the environment, just bringing people out to places they've never been before. And I'm very fulfilled by experiences like when people meet for the first time and then something else happens out of that, and then when people like just connect organically. That's just what I'm trying to do. Like people have been seeing each other with the wristbands on. And
literally on at work, I was like, someone saw, I was like, oh, you know Nazar? I was like, I was like, hell yeah.
Exactly, bro. Hell yeah.
It's just little stuff like that and stuff like that. So when y'all start making, well, first of all, hold on. What's your ethnicity, bro? I've been wondering, what's your ethnicity?
Oh, yeah, see me, I'm Moroccan.
Okay, all right. Yeah. I was wondering, because you said bonjour, and I was like, wait, is he French? When you said, opening.
Do you know geometry?
Yes.
About transitive, whatever.
Transitive
properties?
Yeah.
Yes, I am French. But no.
Because was Morocco, like, history-wise, like, was Morocco settled by the French?
We were colonized in the 1900s and all that. So that's why, like, it's always, like, whenever people be asking me that, it's like I play for a local paintball team right here in Bryan College Station.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that too. Yeah,
and the coach was like, "Oh, this is Rayne. You're from Paris, right?" And I looked at him and I was like, "Something like that." But nah, bro, I'm Moroccan. Both of my parents, they immigrated. They're born and raised there. My family, they're all from there. So immigrated to America. I'm first generation American, but ethnicity wise, Arab and Amazigh, like native Moroccan.
Okay. I was just like a geography nut out of the globe right there. Just like I just like knowing where people are from, you know, and just like the world. The world's at home. You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
Yeah. And then Nigeria, you said?
I was born in Nigeria.
Yes, sir.
The Yoruba, like Oyo tribe out there.
Oh damn, this is an old globe too.
Yeah, I got that shit at Home Depot. Oh,
that's
not Home
crazy.
Depot, fucking Hobby Lobby.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
You know, something's like.
No, I do like long term. I want to have a globe. Just I want to be on some shit where I can throw a dart at the map. And
just go wherever you want to go, type shit.
Yeah. And just like spark up something there. Like, bro, this shit is gonna reach scales where it's like I'm in another country and I'm making these connections where it's like it's gonna hit harder because it's like, okay, we make these connections, but we're all in the same room. I'm gonna be out in another country meeting somebody coincidentally. And it's gonna be much crazier because it's like, damn, how the fuck are these lines connecting?
I think that's why low-key, when you like say something like that, I think that's why you and I we work well together because we do have like a different culturally, ethnic background too, where we have like a different perspective of things. And Nazar didn't mention it, but this dude growing up, like in his childhood, he's traveled around the world. Like you can tell him the countries you've been to.
Bro, literally, it was a crazy whirlwind. When I was born in Nigeria. Lived there for 6 years. And then my dad's in the oil industry. So we moved like every 2 or 3 years. So I moved to Azerbaijan in Baku, which is like next to Russia. A lot of Russian.
Right, yeah, right there, and right sandwiched right in all the countries.
Right there with all the stands.
Yeah.
And then after that, I moved to Abu Dhabi.
Okay.
Lived there for about 2 years too, and then I moved to New Orleans.
Damn.
Before I ended up in
That's a switch,
Texas.
goddamn.
And everywhere we moved to, we traveled, we visited all the other countries. So I've definitely seen a good bit of the world.
Okay.
But I still want to go back and like experience it as like an adult because it was guided by my parents and all that. So you got to see what we were allowed to see.
Coming to the States, like what was like the big like changes for you? I guess.
Yeah.
Or it's like new experiences, like.
It's just like being around like so many people. It's always a lot of people, and then you don't interact with those people. That's the biggest thing. Like I'm used to interacting with like everybody I see, which is why like I'm a lot more introverted than I feel like I should be because as a kid I was very explosive. So I just like to talk to everybody. And then as I moved, around, it's kind of like, the people relationship. Like people, and then you move. That affected it a little bit. But then like in America, it's like. You can be around people all the time and never even say a word to them. So that's kind of how it was.
Hell yeah.
But I think that's what hit me the most because I'm definitely a very social person. But it's like the way I like to make connections with people.
I think Texas is a little different though. Because people in Texas are a little more friendly. I just like a little more friendly than I would say other places.
I mean, bro, I lived in New Orleans. It was very friendly over there.
Really?
It's just a different vibe to it because...
Definitely very French.
Yeah.
Definitely very French. Cajun culture, too.
It's not even like the people, anything wrong with the people. It's just like I can connect with people on a level where I wanted to. Like I can have very instantaneous connections, but nothing that really lasted long. But that's just probably a me thing.
That's how it is sometimes. Like, so Daniel, town baby? Is it born and raised? Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Likewise.
My mom, she's from New Mexico. My pops is from here.
Okay.
So somehow they met in the middle.
My dad from Florida, mom from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Somehow, bro. Somehow, my dad was in the military and my mom was in nursing school and shit.
Yeah, my dad too.
So, your dad too?
My dad was in the Marines.
Okay, yeah, my dad Army. Yeah, so
that's dope.
That's exactly how it be, bro. It's like blueprints almost, you know what I mean? Like kind of like how people kind of grow up in the same kind of way and differently. You know what I'm saying?
That's something that really stood out to me too because when I was growing up, I was around a lot of kids who moved around a lot. So that's something that was normal. We connected on it. And then now I'm around people who've known each other since they were in middle school or elementary school. I've never experienced that before. Like I've not known someone since like in person for like more than probably 6 years in Nigeria. Like I don't know, it's been longer now as I've gotten older and I've stayed in Texas for probably over 10 years now. So
I see like the guys whose music I showed you, MRB, Diverse Sound, Squiddy, and Z. I've known them 10 plus years. You know what I mean? Just like me and Squid met in like fucking first grade, something like that. Really? Yeah. So then ever since then, bro, just rocking and rolling. And then like other friends I've had, like my closest friends. I would say my closest friend that I've had like the least amount of time was probably about like 4 or 5 years at this point, So and I'm realizing like those are like the people like I can like always like take with me. But then I realized with life too, like how I got a lot of friends working and a lot of friends moving out, you know, and I realized like how much that kind of hit me. I wasn't letting myself feel it for a little bit. I didn't realize how much I wasn't feeling it, but then like I realized like, damn, like I don't really, my friends are going, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so then when I met y'all, that's exactly when I was like, damn, like boom, I got like life was like, I got you. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, now
especially,
I got
especially when you live in a town like College Station, you're gonna be cycling, like people are gonna be cycling through here normally, like. Yeah, that's what I like about here too, because it kind of matched my lifestyle in a little bit, where it's like you're still meeting different types of people from different parts of the world, but you're now in one place. I love college environments, like always learning and always some educational and connecting things going on.
And College Station got that vibe too, especially of like not only being a college town, but it's like really more of a transitional town. You know what I'm saying? Where you get a lot of different people from a lot of different places for a lot of different reasons. Exactly. You know, and like people are coming to like start over. I mean, start a family. You know, get out of school, got a job. You know, starting a business. It's one of those like little melting pot areas. You know, and like you said, it's like not big enough to be like a city. You know what I'm saying? But it's way bigger than it's not like a small town.
It's a lot of land, and they developing it. It's a lot different.
This town is about to explode too.
It's like, about to explode.
And then, like I said, Moondrip is just a part of that.
I'm just happy to be. I'm just happy to be
I
here.
be saying that so much to people.
Yeah.
I be stealing your lingo because like I'm just happy to be here. I've been saying that a lot.
I'll tell people, ask people how their day going. They ask me, I'm like, bro, I'm alive and breathing, man. Like you know, like I'm good. Like you know.
I'm just happy.
You know, like
no one can say it like you. Like I tell him, like he's gonna be an actor one day in a movie. He's gonna say some shit like that, and I'm gonna look at the movie with my popcorn. And I'm gonna like that Leonardo DiCaprio like meme. I'm gonna jump out and point and be like, this motherfucker. Like,
yeah, no, already because you got the sunglasses on and shit. I was like,
oh man, nah, it's just too bright. Nah, man, it's. Ooh, I'm tired.
No, you performed today again? Yeah, you said.
Yeah.
For the past 3 days.
I don't know how he does it, bro.
Tomorrow is truly the Sabbath day, and I'm taking a big rest.
And nigga siesta and shit.
Cap.
Yeah.
But with that shit too, is like Zayno was talking about how a lot of people are looking at College Station for like hip hop and art more artistically to develop it here, because I mean they're probably looking at the money aspect and seeing how they can sell to kids, but that comes in our favor where we're doing that stuff. So once we can get those people's attentions, then we'll be like integral to like making this town, like as it's growing, they're gonna need us to make sure it's like still organic and producing ideas and you know artistic at the end of the day.
And like especially stuff is like I guess for y'all like stuff that's what's more what I'm trying to say, it's like more of a positive influence, I guess. You know what I'm saying? And not necessarily and like we said earlier, we said that you're scared to show like some pictures, like you're scared to show your mom because like you look kind of sometimes I'm like, damn, like my parents see this shit, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel that a little bit sometimes too, but they gotta let that go too.
But man,
you
that
know?
When I was trying to bring up music and like try to tell them like my family about my musical pursuits, my biggest thing, and like I don't know if you saw like when I came out with the pumpkin mask, like that was like another thing. Like for her, she looked at me, she's like, "What black magic are you doing?" She's like, "Don't take that off." And I'm like, no, this is
especially with ethnic parents, bro. Like,
because she's very religious and she's I love her. And she's a very spiritual person, and her family has a close tie to magic, and they have histories with black magic. So she wants to avoid that, and she doesn't want that for me. So when it comes to all of that, she is able to recognize the energy from it, and she was like, I don't want you to drift off towards that. And you know, I'm just like, trust. It's different than what you see it is, but I hear what she says, and it kind of still plays in the back of my mind, and it shapes me. So yesterday when I came out, like I did this little, I still have it, like eyeliner, and I had a little like fucking you know, just like a little line going up, just like some cool things. But that's also ethnic, and like that I can still point to like a pharaoh in Egypt when they used to do it, or people in the Middle East, they used to do it. Like I can point to my Arab side and say I did that. Also Johnny Depp, shout out Johnny Depp, Pirates of the Caribbean, that eyeshadow stuff he used to do, I loved it. So that's kind of why I did, and why I'm like, if I'm showing them, they're gonna look at it like, why are you doing all that? Like you just gonna become emo or something like that? I'm like, nah, it's just always Halloween for me. Simply as that. It's always Halloween.
Yeah, you can be whatever the fuck you want to be.
Be whoever you want, even if you gotta wear a mask. Be who you want.
Yeah. I think that's part of it too, with like the message of like, with I guess where I see society going, and I see what people are doing of like getting on your feet and kind of being who you are, even if like you're not like necessarily to the nth degree of what society deems as like it, you know what I'm saying? Being who you are, you're gonna feel more fulfilled in the long run, you know what I'm saying? If you just let everything else go and just like fully accept who you are, and then like the people who just come into your life like that, and you know, shit would just be easier, you know? Just like and how, like, with the same thing, like we said with Moondrip, kind of like elevating to that level. At least that mindset of, like, you know, being like just.
And the craziest thing is it's very counterproductive too. It's counterintuitive if you think about it, because we're trying to tell you to do more by doing less. Like, the less you think about it, the less you tense up. Just being relaxed, just allow yourself to flow through it. That's just the message trying to be conveyed. Because I don't have any endpoint with what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to convince people of any specific idea. It's just like, there's freedom and, you know, freedom, you know.
You know, exactly.
My thing is just like, when did we stop appreciating people who did things like that? Like, I'm looking at your Bob Marley poster up there, and I'm looking at the man Muhammad Ali. Like, I grew up with this, man. Like, my family grew up with this. So this was always like, at a young age, like, this is a true rock star in my eyes. It wasn't like I didn't grow up with metal or like there's rock bands, but I grew up with, like, Michael Jackson. But him right there, that's a rock star. And so it's like, when it comes to like in this digital age and like how we have technology and you can do a lot of things, and it seemed like everybody graduated high school, started making music. At least for me, like, I graduated high school, started making music, and all my people in high school did that too. But it's like, I like to look back in those things, and it kind of ties into my aspect of the film noir. Whenever like I played a film noir movie in the background during my set, and my first song I ever made was film noir. It's a lot of that touches on that. Is like, when did we stop looking at the traits of these people when they grew up, when they barely had an opportunity? I kind of view my time in College Station as that, because we're not in Austin, we're not in New York and Atlanta where you can just walk out and maybe bump into someone. Bob Marley was in the trenches. He did not have the time or the luxury to say, I'm not going to go out and go to a rehearsal, or I'm not going to go out to my neighbors and write this song about 3 little birds. Like, nah. In College Station, if Nazar texts me, hey, someone I really want you to meet, you should come out, and I'm laying in bed and it's dark and I'm closing my eyes, if I lay there, I may not get that moment back. I might have to get up and say, Nazar, what happened? He'll be like, you just had to be there. And I can't be mad at him. It's because time moves. So it's like, I want to be a rock star like that, so that maybe one day we can put ourselves on a poster in black and white, or maybe we can put other people on a poster in black and white. But I want the traits of the past to happen in the future, and with a modern twist, like how we always do. But I kind of want to sample a society, like not a society in the 1950s, not like that or nothing like that, but the mindset of how some people, you know, when they had no opportunities. A lot of people now still don't have opportunities, but College Station, I think that's something I want. Is like, if you come in here thinking there's nothing for you, just go out, talk to people, and you'll see things happening for you. Like, things are actually happening here, and it's always developing. The land here is being developed. So that's my little TED talk on it. So I'm sorry, I kind of ranted, and I'm a big fan of Bob Marley. I was just staring at that poster and just like, man, just walking into this room and just seeing that, just like, come on, man.
Yeah. That's exactly what I got him, like, because I mean, he embodies kind of like you said, just like a spiritual, but also like, you know, everybody knows what Bob Marley is, you know what I mean?
Revolutionary right there.
And like multiple countries, like how many artists can you name that are known, especially nowadays, can go to another country and it's just known like that, you know what I'm saying? Like Michael Jackson walking in public, you know, in Japan or China or some shit, and everybody still knows him, you know what I mean? On that organic of a level in the 80s and 90s, you know what I'm saying? On that organic of a level.
Exactly.
Especially Marley was like 70s, 80s, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And his music was being oppressed in his own country.
That's what I'm saying.
And so, like, when he went and did tours in the UK, and the local government were like, you can't play here, but he was still on a global, we still talk about him. In a time where we didn't have TikTok, in a time where we didn't have Instagram, so now we have a big pool. So my question to y'all three, because you do content, you do multimedia from what I'm seeing, you know, podcast recording, and you literally do everything on your own, and you have your own stuff. How do we separate ourselves from this pool and stand out in the middle of the ocean? I don't want to be on a life raft. I just want to be not even on an oil rig, but how do we stand out in this entire wave of all these people and grow up organically? That's just like a big question I never got to figure out.
But when we were talking that day in Austin and we saw that play out there, I mean, I still kind of think about that, because we said something where it's like, okay, the world is getting hella advanced. We have to kind of counter it if we want to actually get anything done. there needs to be a counter force that's continuously creating these spaces. And it's like the type of message we need to convey is like we need to keep up with the times up in a way, but like we got to go back to how those people organically spread their message, and like getting people out to like the park to chill, to listen to music, to just like talk and enjoy each other, enjoy being around each other. So that's one thing that's like really missing, because it's like you can be in the same room with people and like shit, it doesn't even change the fact that you could be talking to someone across the world. Like it's the same. It's like
who knows who will listen to this podcast?
That's what I'm saying, you know. And even at like going to the park and stuff like that, I notice when I'm like walking around the park, people don't even really like rarely make eye contact anymore, even like really acknowledge each other. Some people do, and when you do, you know, or like they're just locked in with whatever they're doing. But even then, I'll sit on the bench, and there were two conversations I had. One was with a guy from he was from South America, and he was studying memory, PhD student studying memory and fear and memory in rats, and how like fear like kind of like drives us to do like certain things. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I met another guy from India who was studying public health and stuff like that. And so, but like I said, conversations I have with random people in the park, you know, just sitting down, just like people I don't even know. You know what I mean? And just open up to a whole new world. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, that's happened to me a lot, bro. Some of my closest connections have been people like I just met randomly. Like I can't even like that, but those are the people that I stick with, because it's the same thing as if everybody's like avoiding each other. There's those people who are looking for each other, and then when you communicate, it's like easier, because it's like, damn, I was trying to talk to, like, it's like talking to someone that you already know, because it's like I was just trying to talk to someone like this.
You know what I was thinking as this was all being said? I'm thinking of it like life being like an anime with a whole lot of fillers. And most people, the one that did it for me was Naruto, right? 50 million thousand episodes, but I was there for all of them because I realized, character development is real. Like
One Piece.
No, for real.
Like Hunter x Hunter. I still haven't finished that.
Bro, the character development starts hitting you at some point.
Because you're right. You're right about that.
Because like most people, they want the start to finish to be like that. If I'm looking at Kendrick Lamar, I'm like, man, I'm coming. And tomorrow, I'm trying to make the hottest shit tonight because I gotta have that be true. I'm messing up. I don't ever find my specific sound, because I'm chasing something. Always don't take time to be like, okay, you know what? I do get shy when I talk like this, or when I sound like this. This does make me feel like this. I think if we can bring awareness to humility, that's where we can get back to being human. That's what I feel like.
That kind of goes back to what you're saying, Zayno, about like how do you differentiate yourself. I think that goes then like finding that inner self, the inner core of like who you really are. You know what I'm saying? And like kind of like your life, just like purpose. You know what I'm saying? Right. And moving with a purpose. You know, type shit.
It's like getting comfortable, because like once you're comfortable, like it's like once you're showing yourself to so many people, you still don't want to have the pressure of performing for them. You still want to be comfortable doing what you know you're gonna be doing anyway. So. It's just finding that. That's what this journey is all about. Like we're bumping into so many roadblocks and things, and it's just teaching us one thing or the other about ourselves and how we connect with people and shit. I'm just excited for the journey. Like it's a lot of cool things that are happening already.
To be here.
Like I said. So how'd you start making, like what that caused you to start making music? Y'all too.
I will go into a beautiful tangent real quick.
Go ahead.
Because in Cyprus, like I had a group of homies, and we always like music, but there's one guy in specific named Gian Baba. Okay. He's a producer, and he goes by the name Gianni. And like freshman year of high school, sophomore year, he started producing, and he's like, guys, I'm gonna do this, and I'm like, okay, cool, and he stuck with it, and I always watched his journey. Gian Baba, yeah.
Did he play football?
No.
Okay.
Wait, which football? Like soccer?
Like like American football.
No. He's no.
Okay.
He was a crazy good soccer player though.
I knew a Baba to play football. That's
yeah, no. But yeah, he was always producing, and whenever all of us went out to college, he stayed in our hometown, like did like local school, stayed another year. Then he moved out to Atlanta. In Atlanta, he went there for about a year or two. And everything changed for him. He met certain persons. I believe he met someone named Cade. Cade has like 5, 6, 7s with Destroy Lonely. I don't know if you guys know Destroy Lonely, but like he's on OPM and all that. So he started doing that, and then he went, like I would always be seeing him in studios with rappers and engineers. And he went out, like now he's in New York and he's doing all this. So that's kind of how I got started, because around 2020 when the pandemic hit, everything quite literally stopped. There was nobody talking. There wasn't practice. There wasn't school. There was just, you're in a room with 4 walls and you're just thinking. And so then that time I was like, I'm kind of tired of the music I'm hearing. And around that time, Don Toliver dropped Heaven or Hell. And that's kind of what my life felt at that point. It was, I can either go one way, I can go towards heaven, or I can go hell. But which one is it? Do I go to school?
I know exactly what song you're talking about.
You know, yeah, it's like, and he had an album, it's like, if I continue with school, I can, hopefully get a secure job and all that, but will it be hell? Or will I go through hell with this music and then maybe one day reach heaven? So it was just like that for me. So when that happened, at one point I came back home, and it was, I think, my sophomore year of college, and he pulled out FL Studio. He says, if you buy FL Studio, I'll send you this $1,000 worth of sound packs. He gave me the sauce, started producing. Nice. After that, I started recording myself last December, made Film Noir, and then after that, I was like, yeah, this is really what I want to do. So I'll say that Gianni was a really big factor, because he showed me that you can get into music. I knew no one else around me who was really making music, and nobody around me was making any moves, traction. He had actual traction. Like, he has really good songs with a lot of good artists and a lot of big artists. I'm not going to say their names because they got to come out first, but that's kind of why it's like, just, shout out Gian.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
That's how. Mine is always going to be probably different.
No, it's all good, bro.
I mean, I've done music all my life, but it started with the dreams, right? Once I realized sound was a thing, like different sounds are attached to different emotions and certain fears I have from certain sounds. You know what I mean? So me in particular, the Egyptian sound was always speaking to me. You know what I mean? And so I was like, man, I got to find something where I can make something. Like, how do you do this? I always played piano, so I'm just tinkering on piano. At this time, I'm probably like 5. Then I make whatever I'm going through in life at that time as a little kid. If I get sad, okay, I'm mad, but I'm putting it on beat. That kind of thing. As far as how I'm doing it now, I was 12 when I started recording for the first time. I remember I had a gamer headset recording it that way, and I was just trying to figure out how to get that little background noise out the mic. But no, music's always been a part of life, bro, for me.
Your family runs deep, at least in the local scene, like,
oh yeah,
deep in music. I mean, I don't know if you know Alan 2G.
I've heard the name.
Yeah,
Alan Green.
Crazy drummer.
Daniel's cousin. The night before, like on Thursday night, the night before Daniel and I performed, his cousin performed at that venue. He was the drummer on a really big, like a really good band called Ultraviolet. Very, very, like, it's a really professional, really established band, and he performed last night, and then the day after, he headlined on Thursday, then his cousin headlined on Friday. That's all I'm gonna say. So I think,
and I really hadn't even spoken to him in a minute. Like, we're family, and like we have our family church, so like that's really the meeting spot. But I hadn't been to church in a minute. But like, it's crazy to see how stuff is working the way it's working, because like this was my cousin was someone I looked up to, like watching him drum in church. I'm right there like, man, okay, he finna come out of pocket right here. Oh, that was crazy. I didn't see that coming. And then I'm hopping on keys every now and then. I'll play at church. Someone didn't come. I think I can hold a little, so I'm in there and I'm playing with him. Like, bro, this is wild. Like, we got to record something. So growing up, it was always been, hey, man, we got to get in the studio. Growing up. Have a whole life situation
happen.
happen.
A little bit closer to your mouth. Yeah. You can pull it.
Oh, pull it.
You can adjust it. Yeah.
I'm stretching my neck.
No, you good.
No, but yeah, it's been a lot of running around. Great ideas in the air, but no execution. And so to see that we were in the same place in different times, but
in a different atmosphere too.
Man,
I mean, he was doing like it was a corporate party that he was before, because that's what Ultraviolet is, like corporate and high level, like really professionally done private events. But for me, like I pulled Alan to the side. I'm like, hey, you know your cousin is headlining tomorrow. Here?
Bro, and I'm little cousin, bro. Like, so and he actually ended up texting me. He was like, "Man, I'm proud of you." And I was like, "Bro, I'm proud of you though." Like,
you know what I'm saying?
that's crazy. Like, I'm saying something worthy enough for it to capture your attention. Like, especially for me, a lot of people like to reference Kendrick because that's my favorite artist, but they're more so going toward the intelligent, the way I do this or the way I made this. And for me, it's like, no, I'm really trying to make sure that the older people can still take some of this in. Because younger people, I can just let the beat do that.
Yeah.
But my lyrics, okay, I got to make sure if I make it big, then my grandpa's going to have to sing these lyrics,
you know,
and be okay. Like, yeah, he felt that too. So, like, I'm trying to reach all age within 2 minutes, 3 minutes of a track, you know? So it's crazy for him to say that. It's like, yo, he's seen something that he can connect with. Crazy.
It's kind of the same way with podcasting, honestly. Like, people can see something and, like, listen to a podcast where, like, they can hear us talking. They, like said, just hear this and then think, like, damn, you know, like, I can get my shit going. You know what I mean?
Honestly.
You know, or even that, like, even more, like, just, like, on the entertainment side. You know what I mean? Just, like, something for people to just, like, casually pass the time to, you know? And something, like, not only that, but, like, something someone can get something from. You know what I mean? Whether or not it's a laugh, a cry, you know what I mean? Like, you can feel, something you can feel something from. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what a lot of society kind of missing nowadays, too. But
and a lot of it is when we do things like this, I feel like, what you going to say?
No, I was going to say humility. But continue.
I feel like there's somebody we're talking to directly right now, and we don't even know it. Like, it's just, like, sometimes, like, one thing about me is someone told me, I was talking to this dude, pretty creative out here too, Jared, and he was like, we were just talking about, like, everybody has their walls up. There's, like, a certain boundary that you can't see beyond. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see somebody and you're limited to a certain set of interactions with that person based on your view of the world. So one thing I like to do is, like, show people that my walls are pretty far away. So, like, there's a lot of things I would do when I just met somebody rather than just, you know, pass the time or just let that moment never exist. So I think one thing about that is just, like, embodying yourself, showing people, like, the one thing is if you show people that you can get vulnerable and talk about certain things, like how you grew up and all that, then they'll start, you know, connecting with you on a level, and just then you can get those conversations where something happens, those connections build, stuff like that.
And I guess, like, to kind of circle back to, like, kind of like my main topic with, like, having standards and stuff like that comes with just, like, I guess the whole entire thing that y'all do comes with having a standard for yourself, you know what I'm saying? And setting a standard of where, like, you know what you're capable of and not going anything less than that, you know what I'm saying? Or just a certain standard of, like, being able to just wake up and get to work on something, or, like, be productive, you know, and just, like, a constant, like, keep going, you know, and not just staying in one place, you know?
It's a tiny bit of perfectionism in there too, but, like, that's another reason I haven't really put my stuff out there, because it's like I have a standard that I want people to see. I want something that I would wear that people all over me would wear, like, and, like, enjoy. Like, it's got to be, like, I don't know. So it's a lot of stuff I like to piece into it. I like to put a lot of messaging, just make sure people, like, can relate to it.
It's like, how can we emphasize an individuality, but there's external forces acting on us? Because, like, referencing to what DanielSan says, like, he wants to connect to the older generation. Like, I remember being in my home, like, writing lyrics, thinking, oh shit, I can't play this in front of my pops, being like, yeah, I'm fucking on it, and I don't. So that kind of reinforced me to be like, when I write lyrics, I don't write curse words into it. I don't feel natural talking about, like, you know what a SoundCloud rapper would kind of sound like, because that's, like, the stigma of high school rappers, and that's a mutual thing that I hear from the feedback when people talk about Daniel. Is like,
that's your water, by the way.
Oh, yeah,
that's mine?
Yeah, it's all you. Yeah.
Oh my god, I've been staring at it thinking, like,
yeah, no, my bad.
I was like, when's the right time to ask if I can have this?
Oh,
like,
no, bro, that's all you, bro. My bad.
But no, man, it's like, I think that what you're doing is already good, because it's like, I have people, the biggest feedback they say is, like, he has lyricism and he has actual lyrics, and you can listen to it and you can be like, wow, like, you can go on there and have a great performance, but if we put the screen behind you where you perform and you put a teleprompter and you read the lyrics, like, can you really, like, look at that and be like, and it's different for everybody, like, everybody, you know, different genres, different styles, whatever, but it's like, for me, I share that same idea with him. It's like, I want my lyrics to have a story, because if someone deep dives into them, then maybe one day they can write a book and like write a book about it, or they can feel inspired. Like a lot of his lyrics might come from a dream that he had. Like some of his lyrics might become a quote in a movie per se. That's shit that I love, and I think that right there might have been the answer to my questions. Like going back to lyricism, the individuality, even when it's being acted against external forces. I think that's what will help us stand out in this crowd of this wave in this ocean of other people. So
yeah, especially when it's being like crowded out by other external forces too. That's another thing with Moondrip. I see things very like I like picture things a lot. Whenever I'm doing something, I like to have a envision it. So like it just makes more sense to me. So it's like I'm like seeing like a circle trying to expand, and it's like, you know, you have to like actively be, you know, providing the resources for it to be healthy, because the moment something like this, we don't give it attention for a week after we went crazy, and then boom, people forgot about it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's not for the pressure, it's for like for us to know what we're up against, because once we start telling people that this is what we're doing, they're gonna hold us to a certain set of standards. And
really being consistent at that. Being consistent, it's not difficult. It's just like you can't let anything knock you off. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
And you don't want to kill your organicness. Like I was gonna say, like when y'all are on stage, like there's one thing to the lyrics and it's another thing to seeing y'all sing it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And if y'all are singing it like, damn, I'm just here because I have to. I'm reading off this thing. It's like stiff. Nobody's gonna feel it, and nobody's gonna want to look into it anymore. So you want to be consistent without holding yourself back.
I just want to be real, and I think like, cause that was the first time I ever performed as well. So like, when
we couldn't tell.
I've been knowing this for tell years. It all, bro.
Like bro, like I don't know. It's just like when I was telling them the story. It's like the way I had always imagined it was like, Celestial, who went on before me, we were gonna perform a song together. The part that I'd come in, I'd come from the back. The fog machine would go on. I'd come in with my pumpkin hat. I'd walk in with some swag, you know. And then I grab the mic and I'm like, yeah, and like, right? That's not how that happened. And I think that kind of broke the ice gave me such like, I was freaking out, but I was like, this is actually fucking lit, because what really happened was I ran around the building. I was holding, because the door, if you close the door from the outside, you can't get in. There's not a handle. So I was holding the door. I took a sip of water, and then I hear her singing. I'm like, oh, she's in the pre-chorus. Like, she's about to go on. I take a sip. I freak out. Door closes, and I start banging on the door. No one answers. It's loud. Call my people who's literally by the stage. They answer, and they're like waving. I'm like this, and they're like, yeah, like now. And I'm like, no, like door. And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, no, door. And I hear her saying, Zayno, where are you on the stage? So, so I'm like sitting there, and I stop. And I look around, and like there's this old woman. That's how I remember it. When I stopped banging, I looked. There was this old woman. She was just like looking at me with her glasses from across the street, and she was just like doing this. And I remember looking at her. Then I went, and then the door opened behind me. Then I put on the pumpkin mask and I walked in, and I said, "Hold on, we need to redo this, ho. We need to run that song back." And then that right there was actually when the pumpkin was ready for harvest, and I think that's what. Something changed in that moment.
Run. Think about what you just said, bro. So before you did anything, you had an interaction with someone. You did, like, were you worried anymore after that? Like, once you put it on, like, where was the point where you were this way, but then now you're embodying what you imagined? Like, when it
because that lady just like broke some like train of thought of like you thinking it's gonna go some way, and then like
you had to focus on that eye contact, like what was going through your mind.
You really gotta think about that moment. You really gotta think about that moment.
Because I was just think about it. I was dressed like a bum. Thinking about it, I had some old pants. My parents would say, "Hey, you look like a homeless," and I had a blazer, but I had a pumpkin mask. I'm banging on the back of a door of a building, and I turn. It's an empty street. And I just see this she's a beautiful woman, just across the street, just staring at me. And I remember just looking at like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm just like I was trying to imagine what she was seeing. Was she seeing a crack addict trying to get into the concert? Was she trying to see a show promoter? Was she seeing a son? Was she seeing a performer? What was she seeing that caused her to just stop and stare at me? And it was like in that moment, she and I had a whole conversation telepathically.
With nothing said.
3 seconds of just literally just glancing, just like us stopping, looking, and then hearing the door open. That was it. And just like the AC just stopped running like that, because I don't know if y'all can hear in the background. There's like something running. Just like that. It was a lot of white noise. It was like rising. Then door open, and that was it.
You know what's crazy, bro? When you're looking at someone, like someone random, like you catch their eye and it's like, oh, fuck, okay, now we're locked in. Like, do you notice the sound that's happening? Like, do you ever like... You pay attention to what you can see, but do you ever pay attention to what you can hear as that's happening?
No, I think about it.
It's like if you're underwater and it's like, what do you call it? Like gravity or something?
It's pressure.
The pressure.
The
or frequency.
The frequency.
But it makes sense.
The ambiance.
You think about it.
The
like,
context.
You stepped out of something to tune into a whole nother channel.
Realm.
But it happen. Okay. It can happen. You can operate in that all the time, but it only becomes something when you're able to access, and then you're succeeding with your path. You're able to get back in there, and then you put on the show.
If we want to get scientific with it, like the brain is constantly inputting everything. Everything around us is constantly being inputted. And
we got a computer programmer right here, y'all. People don't know.
I always relate it to computer science because this is what I'm learning. So it's like a good way for me to visualize things. I always try to visualize things. So it's like we're getting all this data, and we don't need all this data. We need.
Put me mic a little close to you. Yeah, you're good.
We just need the thing we're focusing on, what we're trying to get done. Like, it's kind of like once you get into that type of mode, like. You don't hear all those ambient sounds because you're just focusing on the voice of the person. Like, you don't even realize that your brain is actively tuning everything out. You're visually tuning everything out but that person. And then it's like you just get into that mode where it's like, I think it also connects with what you went through because it's like a meditative state for like a minute where it's just like it clears your mind. And because every time you connect with someone, there's a what's the word? Metaphysical something happening where it's like y'all just sharing energy or sharing something.
She just managed to pierce the veil that was clouding me, and it wasn't my pumpkin mask. It was, like I said, I wasn't feeling anything up until the point I was going to get on stage, and everything surged because that's how I am.
And it's also important that you were considering all the ways she could have been seeing you, because at that moment, you're just looking at yourself like yourself, but then you're seeing all the ways that she could have been seeing you. So it just put you into perspective.
It expanded my view. It looked like a bird-eyes view on myself. Crazy. And so that's why I was saying I was wondering.
That's just crazy because I wonder what was going through her mind. Maybe that connected to why you felt that way.
Because then my boy opened the door. Naik opened the door. And then I disappeared from her view and never saw her again. I went on stage and that was it.
Very interesting. That's the type of shit I'm a scientist, bro. I'm studying these experiences, trying to see what they mean. And one day, shit.
I hope I can meet her again. I hope I can meet her again one day. I hope. Maybe I'll recognize her. Maybe I won't. But I think she really saved me that night. Like, literally, I was freaking out. Like, y'all don't even know. Like, I'm like, this is horrible. I'm going to have to run all the way from the front like an idiot, miss the entire set. And, like, I don't know. Everything was beautiful. Everything about the night. Everything about just going on there, seeing you. When I saw you like come and like I was like, okay, he actually came. That brought such a joy. That shit was live, bro. Yeah, it's such a joy in my heart just to see that, bro. Like, you don't even know.
And we met one time.
Believe it or not, the same way, bro. I got off work, came here. I was like, I gotta go to work at 8 in the morning. I was like, or 8:45 in the morning. I was like, damn, I'm kind of tired, but I was like, you know what? Go out there. You know, go see what's happening. I was like, all right, bet. And so got up those moments, bro. And then just went, and I was like, and had to end up having a great time. And y'all did, like I said, y'all did great, bro. Like, y'all stage presence up there, like I wouldn't have not been able to tell it was your first time performing at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had like that like comfortability up there, cause like you just like threw caution to the wind and you say, you know what, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. You know? Yeah. And you were up there just cooling with the all black on and shit like that, you know.
I like that. This is such a full.
Yeah, both just had that comfortability look on you. You know, like just you're just comfortable where you were. You know what I'm saying? Like you're supposed to be up there, type shit. Yeah. You know.
Very full circle moment, because a lot of what we were talking about even before, like during the summer, about this night, it didn't happen how we planned it, but everything we thought would result from it is what's happening. Mm-hmm. Like the results we wanted, we're getting it, and it's just the plan didn't. It wasn't a fixed plan, but we got what we wanted at the end of the day. And it wasn't a much sweeter package.
I just want to say like a separate thing. Thank you for like having us on this podcast. This is called the Caleb Jackson podcast.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for like literally the day after this is. I feel like I'm a celebrity now. Like it's kind of crazy.
Bro,
that's what we were talking about.
Bro, I feel like I'm watching the video, bro. Like I'm hearing us all in the head.
Bro, that's why I'm like just chilling.
Like I've never been on a podcast before. That's why I walked in this room. I'm like, oh, you were serious about this stuff. I'm like, oh,
you know, like this is like a podcast. So like, it's like it's not a lot, bro. I found this by the fucking dumpster, bro. Like,
you made it work.
This is gorgeous.
The energy you were trying to get, you definitely get.
This
it.
is beautiful.
We sat down ready to talk. We ran through probably 2 podcasts before we even started recording.
Really?
Yeah, just chopping it up, talking.
It's just a welcoming, warm environment. You just have a great atmosphere of energy, dude. Like
that's what I try to create, and just having like a place where people can just talk and just get whatever they off,
So what are you kind of like your goals with this? Like, because I know you mentioned briefly like you want to cover like certain topics, but it's like, who are you trying to reach, and like who are you trying to connect, like person A to person B? Like, what are you trying to accomplish with this?
I guess I'm just trying to connect the world in a way that it's not connected right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't know necessarily where the disconnect is, but I guess with the podcast, I'm trying to find it, and because like everybody has their own perspective on like how they see the world, how they view the world, but then you have people who are like-minded who you come together with, but even then, we all have our own different perspectives on how we see the world, and being able to bounce those opinions, ideas, and just thoughts off of each other and have like a constructive conversation, productive conversation about it. But not only that, just like finding like a solution, you know what I'm saying? And like just instead of just like talking and just like repeating the same thing over and over and over, and getting to somewhere where we can be like, okay, yeah, this is the next move, you know what I'm saying? And then go forward with that, And so just like things like that, and but then like showing people that you can do it too, you know what I'm saying, if you want to. But also, I guess like more on the philosophical side is like the part of where like even if you do go for it, sometimes you ain't always gonna get what you go for. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that's just life. But it's always a silver lining to it. No matter what. It's like if you can learn something from it and take something away from it, I think it's a dub at the end of the day.
This in itself is a dub, and I want to ask, like, would you be? And you probably already are, and you've already considered it. But like, I had this idea now. It's just like, anytime that there's a show or concert, like there, if you know something called the Brian, like BCS Showcase, like it's being run by like people around here. I
heard of that.
Every time they have a show, you should get some artists out here and put them on this podcast, give them this platform and talk similar. Because like we had a show last night, and now we're up here and we're feeling that energy and we're talking about it. Like, would you be open?
Bro, literally, that'd be perfect. Like after, because now hearing that experience, people are gonna be like, "Oh shit, that's what I watched," but this is what was happening. People need to hear
exactly.
that.
It's behind the scenes.
Like after the show, everybody cooling off. How was it? How did it
like
go?
I kind of would like for you to be kind of the front man on it, because there's other podcasts here and all that, but I mean, you're the first person I've ever engaged with, and I'm telling you, like, I love what you're bringing out of me. And actually now I'm about to go back to Nazar. I'm gonna call out Nazar in this one moment. You remember when Daniel, like when DanielSan brought you up on stage? he was like he was holding up the Moondrip shirt, and he's like, I'm not gonna go on stage, and I was like, no, go. And then he started going, then he turned around, because you know how you be doing the thing, he's like, like he turned on and says, he turned on, he's like, you go up, and I'm like, no. And I pushed him up, and then he went on and showed the Moondrip. Like, I just love us three. Like, I love our chemistry. I love the way we do things.
Bro,
it's just,
we push each other out there, which is great, because we wouldn't have done some of this stuff if we weren't there. Like, I think if one of us was missing, we would have felt a piece of it missing. But that's not even the main thing. It's not like we all need to be there. It's just like once the energy is set and we have the mission, the plan there, it's just.
How do we even start talking about like Moondrip on the podcast when I met you at my job, bro?
Bro, I think I just gave you a wristband.
Yeah, I was like, what's this? Like,
like that was a few days after I got the pack, and bro, I was just giving everybody wristbands. I was like, shit, fuck it, I want to see where this goes. Bro, these are the last 4 wristbands. I had 100, so I need to get some more. But
bro, even Rob was wearing the wristband not too long ago, bro. Like, he had a date night, like, I think he took it off because, professional, like, meetings and all that, but, like, he was wearing it for some time. Like, even Sam McSwain, like, shout out Sam McSwain, he's, like, a big
BCS circus.
Yeah, he's a really, like, big guy behind the scenes. He connects artists, like, pushes them in marketing, very good guy. But, even him, like, some of this is what blows in my mind is, like, some of these people who might not always be, like, that comfortable with putting on like something like a wristband, but just seeing that, and then
it's
when
like, bro, it's bright.
Beautiful.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I love it.
And you connect with someone with it.
Yeah, like I saw somebody at work, like someone came in like, oh, you got the Moondrip? I was like, yeah.
Oh, you got the Moondrip?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, bro. And he was like, oh yeah, like, I know Nazar and there. I was like, oh shit.
Because that's the term that DanielSan kind of denoted. Is like we call it the language of gravity. It's like someone saw that and they saw that core and they felt that gravitational pull to just talk to you about it. So
I think like again going back to like my big purpose with the podcast too, because I was also when I was in school studying communications and philosophy. So
makes sense.
The philosophy and just like you said, like 2020 pandemic, you're locked in, bro. That's right when I started the podcast, bro.
Bro, me too.
Like,
That's when I started Moondrip, bro. I feel like that period, it really separated the people who are just gonna consume and the people who are ready to like create.
That right there.
And it pushed people out, like, cause bro, I'm gonna sit in my room. I'm not about to sit there watching Netflix all day. I'm gonna start drawing. That's me. I'm a restless person.
I told this story like a bunch of times on the podcast. Like at the time before I started the podcast, I had like in mind like I should start a podcast because I had a friend that was at work and I was like, bro, we should do a podcast or something like have one random conversation. And then the job I was at, bro, I got in some trouble outside of work, and then so boom, I was in jail for a night, and then boom, lost my job, and boom, pandemic hit, boom. Turned 21. So I was like, God damn.
That's crazy. Oh,
boom,
damn.
Boom. Wrecked my car and shit. Totaled my car. Bro, like, all within a month span.
Yo,
and so, like, life literally said, like, yeah, you thought you were going to do this? Yeah, 180. Nope. You ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And so, like, sometimes it's like... And during the time, it's like you're wondering, like, man, why am I going through this? You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like you're sitting there just like in shambles, and then like down the line, you're like, damn, that's why this shit happened. You know what I'm saying? It's like
you gotta have
you know what I'm saying? It's like
you gotta have the gratitude to see, like, okay, this is why that happened.
You know,
well, that goes back to cause
like I was pissed off at the cop. Like, man, that cop didn't have to take me to jail, bro. He could have let me off and shit.
Y'all two were about to say the same thing, aren't you?
Okay.
No, you go ahead.
Well, I was about to finish real quick. I was like, man, I was like thinking, like, man, none of this shit had to happen, bro. Like, I was perfectly fine for this to happen. You know what I'm saying? But like, what could have happened if I was going down the same path? You know what I'm saying? But then like, life took me out of that. You know, in a fucked up ass way. It was like, damn, why did this happen to me? But then it's like. Coming out later, it's like
retrospect.
This is what I'm calling like real maturity. You know what I'm saying? Being able to look at like what you've been through and like I said, gain something from it. If you can learn something from it and gain something from it, take something from it, it's a dub. You know what I'm saying? Or if you take your L, cut your losses and move on. You know what I'm saying? Life goes on, type shit. But yeah, all right, yeah. What else about to say?
No, that just goes down into the philosophy that I'm trying to like develop Moondrip with. It's like. I've always heard, people say everything happens for a reason. Are you are you a religious person?
Bro, that's one of the questions I was about to ask. So, I showed you the astrology book right here, and I got it right next to the Bible over there too. Okay. And it's more of like again, learning about like logic and like I took some logic courses and then learning about like philosophy and stuff like that, and then just having like an open mind in general, and just seeing how like just things connect, like I said, geometry. Someone asked me about geometry, and it's like study of how things connect. You know what I'm saying? And so, and it's more than just like shapes. You know what I mean? Like with gravity, how like we connected and stuff like that. So just how things kind of like work in that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
yeah, that just connects to the way I was saying it. Is like I'm more of a person who I grew up very religiously, and I've gone into the logic route, and I'm all philosophy and all that. So I'm bouncing around, but. One thing that I use to kind of do to think through those situations where shit is really going bad, it's like you can either think that everything happens for a reason, so all this is happening to you specifically, or you can just say that you can find a reason in everything that happens like later on. Like even as the thing is happening, you could be like, okay, cool, this is teaching me this. Once you can find that reason, it makes it hurt a little bit less. You know what I'm saying? Like. That's why like later on down the line, after you thought about it for a while, you're like, this is why that happened. You're able to let it go a little bit, but this way of thinking, you're able to let it go a little bit earlier, like even while it's happening, because it's like, okay, cool, I'm about to take the lesson from this and just go through it, just let it be.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm hard headed, so it took me a while. I ain't gonna cap.
No, it's definitely something that life like forces down your throat. You know what I'm saying? You don't love it at first.
And like after a while, it just kind of took like going through just certain things of life, like relationships, quitting jobs, getting fired from jobs, a little bit of everything to get like to the point where it's like, I'm where I'm supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? And it's like pinball almost. It's gonna bump you around everywhere and shit like that, but you're gonna end up where you need to.
Exactly.
As long as you don't fall through the hole. As long as you don't fall through. Just don't let yourself fall through.
Type shit.
It was like one song. It was a video I was watching. It was "Spin About You," Drake and 21 Savage. This song, and I was watching the video, right? And I think I was smoking or something, and I was sitting there, and with the video, the way that, if you don't know how the video goes, it's like they're on the yacht and they pick the girl up. Y'all seen the video? I'm sitting here, damn, these women will sink your ship if you let them.
And they did.
And I was like, and they did. I was like, they will sink your ship if you let them. I was like, dang. I was like, now would I have picked the girl up out of the ocean? And my homie was like, bro, you wouldn't pick her up? I was like, well, how'd she get there in the first place? You know what I'm saying? I was like, so type thing like that. But yeah, like but overall, just kind of like not letting yourself fall through and like, again, staying disciplined, having a standard for yourself kind of thing.
And all that does is at the end of the day just give you a little bit of armor, perseverance, because, bro, either way you think about it, like, it's still going to hit you. Like, it's either you dwell on it or you keep it pushing. And
it's like if you let it, you know what I'm saying? It's like kind of like going back to just taking control of yourself, you know what I'm saying? And not letting like certain things like get to you, Like we're all built differently, So like some things that get to me might not get to you at all, you know what I'm saying? But like in that same breath, you know what I'm saying? That's where we can figure out like, how we can work through things, together, you know what I'm saying? As a collective. Yeah. So that's what it's all about. Yeah.
Because it's also like knowing like we're all pieces of a huge puzzle, and everybody I meet just pieces into that puzzle. There's another visualization I do. Like literally, like it just works out eventually. Like you talk to somebody, eventually y'all get into a conversation where it's like, damn, I just needed someone to do this. I was talking to somebody earlier, and they just started this brand called something with clouds. And I remember I used to draw this logo back in the day when I was thinking of what my logo would look like, and it's a cloud. And he said he needed a logo. I'm gonna show him that later on, and that's just something that it just happened today. It just showed up to his show.
Damn. It's like stuff happening like that, just like not even like. Y'all think that's God? Would y'all describe that as God?
Shit, it's gravity, something.
You know what's crazy? I was reading I think I have the book right there. It's Astrophysics for People in a Hurry by Neil deGrasse Tyson. The big G, because when everybody refers to God, they say refer to God with the big G. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then the big G in astrophysics is gravity. I was like, hold on. You know what I mean? Gravity, the one thing that we can't see, the one thing that holds everything down on Earth, the one thing that pulls things together, bounces them apart. Then the one thing we don't even fucking question.
It's literally the gel that the universe sits in.
At the end of the day, we don't question this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because gravity just exists. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if we don't just question that, it's like, what else goes on beyond what we don't see? You know what I'm saying?
My professor was telling me about this book this paper called What It's Like to Be a Bat, or To Be a Bat. It's like a philosophical paper. And it's like, we can't conceive what it's like to be a bat because we have eyes and we can see, and we build a map of the world how we think. So every time we think of other animals, we kind of like relate it, and like they're probably doing the same thing. But bats don't see. They don't have any eyes. They fully just adapted to using echolocation, and all the ways we try to explain it, like maybe they're mapping out the area, this or that, like it just might not be true. Like however they vibe in this world is whatever makes the most sense to them. They might not even need to see the full map. I mean, it's just however it is, but we can't conceive that because we can't put ourselves in that external state, which goes back to what you're saying, because once you want to think about gravity and what's really putting all this together, I don't think the human brain can really conceive all that, like all the pieces that's in place.
I think to some point you don't really have time to go back. You don't have time to be able to conceive all that.
Lifetimes to conceive,
because you got a purpose to work with in this one lifetime that you got. You know what I'm saying? So I think at the end of the day, like I guess that's why I want to see everybody to realize. You know what I'm saying? But then again, like there's only so much you can do. Because you really can't control people. Only influence them. You know what I'm saying? So,
make sure your influence is strong enough.
You know what I'm saying? So
that was a very interesting comment you made about the bat. And it kind of just opened me up on something that I tried to figure out a long time ago when I was a kid, like around 2nd grade of elementary school, that I never quite figured out until just now. So I'm going to pull this podcast back one day, and I'm going to point that moment out to you and say that you helped me unlock something. But that's very interesting.
I'm gonna have
what you just said.
In the archives,
yeah.
Sure.
What you just said was very, very, very interesting. So
Yeah.
I love it. Everything's spooky to me. Like, that's why, like I say, for me, like, Halloween is all year round. It's not just like in October, and it gets forgotten about the day after. So it's like, oh no, it's beautiful.
Shit's like Thanksgiving, bro. Like, you know, we think give thanks, and then the day after that, but Black Friday. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody thankful for shit.
I'm thankful for Black Friday, bro.
Oh,
like,
we are, but then
I'm about to.
shit, people be coming through rampaging the motherfucker.
Bro, you just gotta get the online sales. Cause I'm like,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm like waiting in line, bro. They be doing some good ass sales, though. Got to see.
Were you about to say something?
No, I'm just trying to think of like. This is a beautiful time period. This is a beautiful place in mind. Like, I'm definitely older. Like, I'm 21 years old. My dad was definitely in a different place when he was 21 years in this country. And now I'm 21 years. And one of their biggest things was, like, you're able to do a lot more than we could have since we were immigrants. So it's like, do what you want to do, but, you know, have the reality of everything. But just know that you can evolve at a greater length than we could have. Because we were, you know, they quite literally traveled across the Atlantic Ocean. So, I don't know. I think for my life is I felt a similar stance to this echolocation. It's like, I don't want to say I was blindly following anything, but I definitely had my eyes open to things. But now looking back, it might have been the wrong things. And maybe it was the right things at the right time. But one thing for me is I traveled back to Morocco, right? And with my eyes and ears, I can see and hear my people, my country, what the culture that my family's from. And then I hop on a plane and I come back to America and I see and I hear another country, my other people, my American people, and it's different. And I think every time I came back to America, I had a sense of guilt. And I think that sense of guilt is what continuously drives me to not be okay with a secure position and just go straight into like healthcare. It's more of like, take the same kind of, not the same risk, but a risk nonetheless that my family did, and possibly go back to Morocco, go back to Africa, go back to maybe the Middle East or some parts in Europe, and do some things for people there that, I don't know. I just see a lot of talented kids. There's hella Neymars, hella Messis, hella, Michael Jacksons. There's a lot of Albert Einsteins and literal villages, literal places. I seen kids 7, 8 years old lifting more than a bodybuilder would to go take like fucking vegetables or food or bricks from one place to another up a mountain. And it always blew my mind. It's like there's a lot of things we take for granted. So in terms of echolocation, I'm going to try to find a sound, and I'm figuring it out. And I'm going to keep saying it out loud, and I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep shouting and screaming in these walls. And maybe one day I'll finally map out myself and map out the world. And maybe I can open perspective. I can give people the night vision. That's just a big part of me. It's just that night vision. And I don't know.
That's very interesting, because if you think about it, I was going to say, when you're in Morocco, you've been there, you've made experiences there, and that's kind of like the echolocation. You're sending out all those signals, and you're receiving good signals back. So far, when you're sending your signals out here, you might not fully, enjoy the signals you're receiving. But what about what you're doing is like you're forcing like your energy out there, so you're able to once that bounce back comes from this certain area of the world, okay, I can be around here more and I'll be comfortable, rather than being around here where I won't vibe as well. So you just really, it's like, that map. And it's weird because it's not like it's a map in a way you wouldn't conceive at first. It's like people, it's places, it's songs, but it's a map. It's like, it's all one map. You can
positioning, basically.
Yeah.
Like chess, almost like chess, positioning and timing.
Yeah. Because you're going to be in one room where automatically you're like, damn, based on whoever's here, shit, I might have to leave early. And then it's like times where you pull up late night and then, damn, we stayed longer than we wanted to. Just because it's comfortable.
Growing up, people used to tell me when I sing, it sounds like a bird stuck in my throat. Oh, wow. So, bro.
Bird.
But, so, I want to just say, I think that, it was my biggest sense of echolocation. It's like I grew up knowing that I'm not no Shawn Mendes, no nothing, but I love that aspect of kind of like if if like for example, if my dad left like one country and went to America and he's looking at KFC, he's looking at all these things, you know, he in New York, he's looking at this, he's like, what the hell? All these people speak English. It's like, it might not sound right for him, but he went out and still was speaking and doing this and trying to map it out in his way. So for me, it's like when I first started recording, I used to hate the sound of my voice on a phone recording. And it's like part of trying to find my sound was like recognizing that I don't like to sound a certain way, and I don't think I sound a certain way, and I want to find a way I'll be proud of, and I'll like think, okay, this is pretty cool, and I'm finding certain sounds that I could tap into that previously external forces wouldn't let me, like, you know, get past that. It's like, no, I sound a little weird, man. No. But it's like, I don't know. I just think when I bring my music finally back to Morocco, my question is, will my people accept me as one of them? Will they listen to me? Will they listen to the way I'm like screaming? Will I be speaking in a foreign alien language to them, or can they relate to me? Like, have I been gone for so long that they don't recognize the Moroccan in me? Like, will I? Like, is that something you worry about? I mean, I don't know. I don't think that's something you worry about, because I mean, you were born and raised there for like 7 years, like going back to Nigeria. But it's like, for me, that's something I always had to struggle with.
Nah, but like, bro, even when I call my family on the phone, they're like, oh, who is this, like, American? You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's how they view us.
And people out here, they might not, like, I might have a slight accent to them, but to like a slight African accent, but like to my family, I sound completely like Americanized. And it's like, even with the stuff I'm trying to do with my art, with my stuff, like, I haven't even gotten like my parents to fully fuck with it yet. So honestly, I'm still in the mode where I'm like, this is what I want to do. So I'm gonna keep doing it until it makes sense to people. Because one thing with me is, as I said, I was a very explosive kid, but I always had good intentions. But I have too much.
What do you mean explosive? That's what I never understood that.
I mean, just
like, you used to fight a lot, or
not? I wouldn't fight. I was very peaceful, but I would just like have a lot of energy. I would like be tapping people, you know. I always want to be around people, you know. I'm just like always like there. I'm like talking to you, and to some point, it's like now I'm talking to a lot of my old family members when I went back to my mom's party, and they're all telling me like, bro, we thought you were annoying as fuck as a kid. Like, we just didn't want to be around you type shit. But you know, as we got around you, you're crazy. Like, oh shit, you're kind of cool and shit. And it's like out of everybody we used to be around, I'm the one that's really bringing everybody together and shit. I'm the one that's like people are getting to see aspects of me that I wasn't able to show before, because I was just, you know, just shooting all my energy out there.
But you were a kid in a lot of different places in a lot of different time periods. So I mean, yeah, it's like growing up, like you probably had different personalities.
Yeah, I had no idea what to be as a person, so I was just, you know, doing everything. And the thing is, like, I've gone from 100 to like, you know, fully being reserved, and I'm just trying to find a good balance where I can show my energy while, you know, making it make sense, you know, without being annoying.
You know, you have no idea how alike we are, bro. You have no idea how alike we are. That's crazy.
As people of color, y'all think that plays a little role in it as well? Kind of like figuring out, kind of like towing that line of like, you know.
That added a whole aspect to it in America, because now it's like you're not only annoying, you're like weird, you know. It's like you're just odd.
I think y'all two might be able to. I think cause he's asking something a little bit like I kind of see what you're trying to say. It's like y'all two might. Because my parents didn't grow up in the same conditions that like y'all's grandparents might have. Like, my grandparents had colonization. That's one thing. But y'all's grandparents had like segregation, like during Muhammad Ali's time, like civil rights movements. That's completely different.
That's
like,
a whole that's a whole conversation.
Completely
I'm very interested
different.
Like, I put that perspective. I was like, my dad born in '62. The Civil Rights Act was '65. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's like recent. You know, my grandma was born in '47. You know, so like
if you talk to your grandparents, like, I mean, they can tell you like the way, like, because I was looking at this old videos like shot in the 50s or the 70s or something like that, right? And they're like, when you black and you're driving through the South, you can't stop at night. You make your stops during the day. And so I was like looking at that thinking, like, damn.
Yeah, sundown towns and stuff like that. Yeah.
Not even just sundown towns. It's like for them, it's like if you go and you want to get, you know, you have $20 and you want to get only $5 with the guys, they ain't gonna give you change, like that type of shit. Like that discrimination, how you says, like as people of color, you gotta find a way to toe the line. It's like people back then had to. Yeah. Really had to.
Know, just through life, you know. Like,
this is like a really close, like, personal thing, but like my grandma, she was born in the French the occupation, but she had an older brother. He was like 14 years old at the time, right? And there was a soccer game that was happening, and he climbed the fence because he didn't have the money to go pay. And during that time, it was like at night you can't really go out. You gotta stay in. You know, kind of like a martial law. It's like a curfew that was instituted by the French and all that. But some soldiers and police officers saw him climbing, and then they beat him, and he passed away, unfortunately, from his injuries, and no justice was done. So it's like even in their country, they had to have a certain way of thinking. But for here, they didn't. My grandparents did not go through the same thing that y'all's grandparents did.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're in their home country, and they have the majority. They're the majority. But here, y'all's grandparents were the minority. So did that older generational type thinking play a role in like the way y'all were raised and like how you act in public and all that?
I would say a little bit for me. Cause my parents both wanted to raise me with like, you know, be who you are, I guess. But like, the world's gonna be, especially in our society, the world's gonna be different on a black man. You know what I'm saying? The world's gonna see you very differently, just based on the color of your skin. It's not right, you know. It's unfair, you know, but it is what it is, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like an air of cynicism where it's like, okay, cool, you can live your life in this country, but don't trust anybody. Like,
I wouldn't even say it's up to that point. I would say like to a degree, because like some people say like, oh, racism doesn't exist. I mean, racism is very much and well, it's a thing, you know what I'm saying? But like, you know, there's a thing of like ignoring it or like how much you actually let it affect you in a sense, you know what I'm saying? Especially on like a personal level, you know, kind of thing. So, and I think that you know, like the crabs in the bucket analogy. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like
crab mentality.
Yeah, you know, just kind of like pull you right back into like what you're supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? Because you're a certain way, and this is what you're supposed to be. And this is how the world's gonna see you. You know what I mean? And like going back to like find that individuality of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Beyond just even like the color of your skin. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And I used to be worried about that with College Station because my freshman year, I had a racist encounter that resulted in like a bad situation where, you know, I just didn't want to be out in public no more. I was like, this is like, that was like a bad thing. But I never had a situation like that. And it was like, there's good people and there's people who are interested in diversity. And like going to the Grand Cypher Theater, like I walked in there and all the staff were like so cool and like, oh, where are you from? Like, oh, you know, like how you said, oh, you speak French, like where are you from? Like, I love when people, you know, come out of that and they ask where you're from and like they're accepting. And I think that's a good thing about America that I'm really appreciative of, is that they're given all the mistakes and the problems that they've had. This is a country that you can come from other places, and even though like in some parts like you're not gonna have the same opportunities, like you're still gonna be like there's still people you can connect with. It's like if you're like someone from China who moves to America, there's gonna be a Chinese community. If you're someone from China that moves to Morocco, they will be a small Chinese community, but people will still look at you and, you know, be like that. So it's like, I like it and I don't like it, but I'm very thankful, at least in this moment, for Bryan College Station, that people are like accepting of other, you know, other cultures. Because I mean, I had like my friend like Gian, like how he was telling me like in Atlanta or New York, like especially in the music industry, there's a lot of like gatekeeping race based wise. So it's like here in College Station, like I see Latino people and black people creatively mixing and not holding back information. Be like, oh, did you know you can do this? Oh yeah, hey, let me help you out with this. Like Dizzy, when he came and did autotune, I was like, just went up to him. I was like, I like your hardware. I like what you're doing. You think you can come do my show? I know it's late notice. He's like, I got you. Say none. Damn. This and that. I like that attitude of it. So
that's why we gotta low-key the lead by example thing. We start with ourselves, but we get a community going. We gotta get this whole town leading by example at some point, and then we can really get something going, because it's not enough to really have an idea and get a couple people rocking with it, especially if you want to like cause some actual, like you want to make some things happen. But it's always good to start slow, like start small and build from that 0 to 100 so you can see what every stage is like.
And I think that's I like because Sam McSwain was telling me that he wants to do something with the BCS showcase, because he has a lot of culture. He's been in this game for a minute, but there's what I'm saying, like how you were in Toku and all that, like y'all, it seems small now, but I don't think people really understand how big that BCS showcase is. And so it's like, now we just pulled off this thing in the Stafford, so it's like, I have people texting me today saying, so when's the next one? When's the next show? Like, when are y'all doing it? Other artists saying, hey, can I be on the bill next? Like, that's
bro,
beautiful.
That's crazy, bro. Like,
it's a relief for people that can come in and be like, yeah, I love shit, what was it, JPEG Mafia? I want to go out and perform him. Sure, I'm a country pop singer and I sound like Morgan Wallen. Can I perform? Sure. Afro beats? Definitely.
Yeah, it's like music is music. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day,
I want people to be doing that out here. It's like it's not oversaturated. Like there's a lot that's about to happen in the next 3 years, especially here musically, and
that's why I think it's really important that like we start getting Sam and some other artists like on stuff like this, because people need to start putting names to faces and names to faces to the music. So we need people to start recognizing DanielSan when he pulls up at Northgate. You know what I'm saying?
And a big emphasis on the locals as well. Yes. Because I mean, DanielSan, born and raised here, and it's like it makes sense that he was headlining. It makes sense. He's got good traction. He's got good sound. He's got good music. And then the day before, his locally raised cousin performing too, and it's like Sam McSwain. I don't think he's a local, but he's been here for a minute. But Damien Flores, Victor Vortex, all locals.
Oh yeah, Damien came in, and I was like Damien. I was like, I didn't see him in like a couple of years.
He's a phenomenal man, phenomenal creative, and a wonderful artist. My man has bars for days. Lyricism is off the charts. Like. I would like, because I mean, Nazar, you and I, we come in here, we came for school. They grew up, they grew up here. So it's like when we're just, the way I see it is like how Nazar and I are, we're just a part of y'all's journey. And like, if I'm able to do something like this, call it like Grand Cyber Theater, like when I'm putting on shows, like I'm just part of that and I'm able to do something. But longevity wise, it'll be the locals. Like one day the locals will just come and take the baton and they'll be doing their own thing, and that's what they're doing. So I'm thankful to be a part of that opportunity, be able to be in a position to where we can make it happen and we can do a good show and people can get paid for it. But local, like the big part of BCS is that local scene, and it's the local people that make up for it. And I think for a while they were neglected, like certain groups, but we're cutting through that red tape and it's unfolding before our very eyes.
It's an idea we got to keep in mind too, because as we're going to new places, we don't want to change shit up and then just leave people with new ideas and nowhere to push it forward.
You know, I've been waiting to say this. That's why I hadn't said nothing for a minute, bro. I've been waiting to use this one. Okay, my brother told me it's one thing to think great, it's another thing to be a great thinker. So, with that in mind, someone that thinks great, they're gonna smash it with ideas after ideas. It's gonna make sense. It sounds legit. It sounds like it'll work. But someone who's greatly thinking like they've ran through all the loopholes. They're gonna say, okay, realistically, this is the plan of action.
Gotta cut the fluff.
Because plans always crash and fail. People always follow through. But one thing I know for sure is I'm gonna stay dedicated to the mission. This is the move. Like. Keep going.
Like you talk about programming too. Like I was thinking about that with animals, because I have a book right there called Animals and Psychedelics. And it talks, it talks about how like how animals are like my ex actually gave me that book, but it talks about how like animals.
She said you a dog.
That's crazy.
She said how animals basically like or humans we want to change our perspective, but animals also have that capacity too as well to want to change their perspective. Like some animals when they're eating, like they trip off mushrooms and like they eat the wrong thing, they start tripping and shit like that, you know. So like. And like what you're saying, like with programming, you know, like and like being on your purpose and like kind of like what purpose are you programmed to do, kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't never tell a dog like stop being a dog. You know, you can't never tell. You can train it, you know, but you can't ever really tell like a lion to stop being a lion. You know what I'm saying? Like put it in the zoo, you know, and people say, well, it went crazy when it attacked somebody. No, bro, it went lion. Like you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
It's a lion at the end of the day. It's a lion.
Instinct came up. You know, a billion years of instinct just came up in that one instant. You know what I'm saying?
And that's good. Bro, it's the same thing with like. It's a very fun aspect of life because you have to find that shit just by living. You know, because I think okay, cool. I'm a computer scientist. I like to code. I like computers, but one thing that's just been around me is like I just stay in contact with people, like people all the way since like once I really started thinking about it. Like I have family, friends. Like whenever like people like split apart, like my family is usually close with this family, and then we just stop being as close. I'm still talking to the kids. I'm still like inviting them over. I'm still going over to their houses. That's just something that's naturally been part of me. Like I just keep connections. I can think of somebody. And I'll hit them up right now. I probably haven't talked to them in 3 months and have a normal conversation. The type of shit I like to do. So I really think I'm programmed to like create spaces where people enjoy themselves. Like, be the person who like makes it less turbulent, like, so there's less misunderstandings. Because I'm able to hear two people talking, and I'm like, okay, this person is talking about this, and this person is talking about this. If they're starting to disagree, I'm like, okay, cool. This is just the disconnect right here, and then the conversation can continue to flow. So that's what I like to do.
Yeah. And not trying to stretch out too thin with like doing too many things, you know what I'm saying? Like stretch yourself thin, just kind of staying, like I said, on point with what you're doing. Yeah.
Sure.
I mean,
because I have a thing about stretching myself too thin. I love doing things, bro, but I love shit. I gotta make sure I do things right.
I'm like, bro, 2 years ago, man, I was just trying to make beats in my fucking apartment, bro.
Right.
And now it's like the fact that I kind of feel burnt out with this music. Like today, I woke up thinking like, how the fuck is Daniel talking about performing today? Like my voice is done, done. So it's like, I just feel blessed then to just even think that like that. Like yeah, I definitely for this event stretched very fucking thin.
And then we're gonna do it again.
And I want to do it next week.
We gonna do the same shit again tonight. You know what I'm saying?
No, for real.
I'm not gonna lie, the plans haven't even ended yet, bro. We got.
Like, there's some.
We're talking about
That's step one.
This
is
step one. Really step one.
We got like 2 and 3.
What are y'all talking about?
Man,
I guess I'm about to find out.
It's like Halloween.
In
I
due
literally
time.
just got invited to something here, like when we just pulled up.
Oh, yeah.
I've been holding that in.
Oh no, yeah, I took one in. No, you good?
Like,
I said, man, I'm really doing good.
Emphasis, it's not weed or any illegal contraband. It is like legal
Definitely going out.
tobacco.
For sure.
Don't vape, kids.
For sure.
No, for real. This is killing
I
me.
said lead by example. This is one example you don't follow, right? All right.
As a public health major, I'm gonna advise y'all to not do this no more. Like that.
So we're gonna. Does this take us down the rabbit hole of crazy death experiences?
Let's go into something else. Like,
the car accident and shit. My car
like
accident.
anything that altered your reality and then your life changed in that moment.
Yeah, we're gonna get some nice experiences.
I can talk about some shit that
let's all go around.
People in College Station would even know about.
What?
So I had I had this one roommate, and he ended up passing away. But I think I told you that story.
You get the mic close to your mouth. Yeah.
So, do you think you ever heard of? I don't know if I should be dropping names on this.
I wouldn't.
Code names.
We'll see when we get into stories. We'll see what we can do on it later. But you know, I've had some interesting experiences out here in College Stations where it's like going into the school going into life. I never thought I would experience some shit like this, and it's like I'm like, bro. And I'm still having to push through. Like, when some crazy shit happened, like, I'm going to class the next day, you know? So crazy. It's like, that's why I'm all about, like, life happens for a reason. Find your reason, because, bro, shit's going to hit you, like, back to back. So, got to keep it pushing.
Oh, bro, like, beginning of 2022, I was hanging with some people, and there was some friends, and that night, like 5 minutes after I left, somebody took their life, like 5 minutes in the house. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, like probably as I was like walking down the driveway or something like that, and I didn't even know till 7 p.m. the next day. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, what? Say what? Like, you know? So like,
that shit do be like switching life up. It
bro,
be shaking like your whole frame of reality up a bit, because it's like, I just saw this person.
I took some mushrooms, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was like, bro, why is this? Because it was someone I was getting acquainted with, but I was like, why? I didn't think someone who I wasn't that close with. I didn't think that them dying would affect me that like the way it did. You know what I'm saying? Even though we've only seen each other maybe like 5 times in my whole life. You know what I'm saying? Know each other's name, but it's like, no, we weren't like. Wouldn't call each other friends, but we're acquainted. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So in that way of like why is it bothering me so much? And it was like, and I realized I was like, you can't let anything bother you, you know. And like whatever's going through his mind, I couldn't control it. You know what I'm saying? And like whatever was going on that night or whatever, there's nothing you really could have done. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, what can you take from that? It's like, don't let anything or anything outside of you stop you from being who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, people getting like locked into like, you know, doing the same monotonous routine, you know, boring. Life gets boring, you know, gets dull, and there's no excitement. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And like little things of like, you know, talking to new people, you know, meeting new people, going to new places and stuff like that to keep you shit fresh. You know what I'm saying? And so like, kind of like made me kind of start doing that a little more and thinking like, you know, I ain't gonna care what anybody really think. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really don't got time to, you know? Because I mean, at the end of the day, you know, where's it gonna get you? You know, so.
Yeah, there's people who get stuck on things like that, and then like it's like you feel the obligation to feel bad for it, you know, because it's like a shitty situation. But bro, like damn, like it's not gonna do you any good. Even with the whole situation of like regarding, you know what I'm saying, regarding his family and stuff like that, I'm like, what is his family gonna think? And I'm like, ain't nobody ever gonna know. And that's another thing I learned. I was like I was tripping off mushrooms. Like I was thinking, I was like, life gonna hand you some answers. Or life gonna hand you some shit, and you're not gonna have the answer to it. You know what I'm saying? You may never have the answer to it. You just gotta take it and go with it. I was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And like, and even then, maybe later down the line, you'll figure it out. You know what I'm saying? But like, it's just like it's very tragic, but like it's also like it's a sad. Like I say sad, almost like a nihilistic way of looking at it, but like kind of like just. It is what it is, man. You know, and it's like it's tough to say in those situations too, because there's so many emotions wrapped up in it. But it's like at the end of the day, bro, there's another day coming. You know, and you gotta be thankful that you here. You know, it's not gonna do any. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. Not too long ago, I was in the A&M recording studio and I was recording this. You know how I told you there was that one Afrobeats artist? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was in the A&M recording studio and I was recording him. Energy high, you know, he's making good music. Good, I love Afrobeats. Like, it's a different type of music, different type of percussion. So the vibe is immaculate, and you know, we're bumping, I'm jamming. Then I got a text on my phone. And it's like literally on the console. I look at it. It's my sister texting the group chat, and when she texts, I'm like, okay, I'll always answer because she doesn't text at all. And she's like, Morocco just got hit by an earthquake. I'm like, earthquake, Morocco. And I went, huh? So like immediately, like while the music's playing, I go on my phone. And he's talking to me. I'm like, yeah, press pause, like record. And I'm reading it. And then I go online and I'm like, okay, Morocco did get hit by an earthquake. I'm like, okay, so we're in Morocco. Marrakesh. Shit, that's my hometown. That's where my family really from, Marrakesh. And it's like watching that and then seeing that in real time. And then I have a dude smiling at me from the studio and like, he looking at me and like if I have this face where it's like everything's bad, he gonna feel that energy through the door, like through the window. And so like I'm just doing that. I have my phone on and I'm recording and pressing recording him, and it was just like that situation. It's like, man, I don't even like my grandparents. I don't even know how they're doing right now. There's people up in the mountains, the Amazigh, like I always said, I'm part Amazigh, and those are the people that got affected the most. Like now, since we look back at it, because their houses like built by stones, wood, all that, completely destroyed, and that's like. So many years of culture, but in that real time that night, I'm trying to keep my energy high. I can't as much, but he's recording. And like we've got to finish the song, and it's at the end of the day. I'm like every now and then in between takes, always recording. I'm looking at the news, and I'm just trying to like get updates. My parents are texting, trying to get contact with our family members. No one's answering. So that was like a situation where it's like, even if you get knocked out in the first minute of the first round. And everybody's, you know, just like watching you. Sometimes you just gotta get up and you just gotta keep going. And it's like my night completely changed, but there was a guy in there who was making beautiful music, and his night was just going crazy, and he was very happy, and just like gotta keep going with it. And so for me, like I'm thankful that in that moment I didn't reveal too much. And at the end of it, I was like, I apologize. I was like, if I stop, you know, talking as much or like jumping as much, this and that happening. He's like, oh man, everything cool? Yeah. Okay, cool. Hey, have a good night, bro. Yeah, have a good night. So
it's relations like that weirdly make me appreciate anime more, because you have some people going through some bullshit. Like they come up with how to throw somebody into the mud, become the mud, and then they rise up to be the strongest person. Like it's a lot of perseverance. They bake a lot of
Naruto
stories. Naruto, fucking One Piece.
His whole village murdered, right? Wasn't that the basis of it?
No, his story was his parents killed.
I'm trying to think.
Orphan. Like, everybody hated him. Now he's leading the whole town. Like everybody's revering him.
Those were my favorite type of like just shows or any type of media. Was just like out of everybody in society, there's like one who had a power to do something, whether he was ordinary or was destined, and he just had this supernatural abilities. Like I love stories like that.
It's usually some stupid kid that just won't give up.
Quite literally.
Won't ever give up.
Quite literally.
Yeah.
That's really half the time. That's all anybody who ever makes it really is.
That should
you know what I'm saying?
Too, yeah.
So, like, we're all just like, at the end of the day, like, everybody's just kind of a kid, you know what I'm saying? Just like, we're operating off of, like...
That's why I think I can relate with people so much, because I give off, like, a very natural / childish energy where you don't have to take what I'm saying too seriously, but we're just... Like, I try to, as much context, like, before I really get into talking to someone, I like to provide as much context through what I say, like, just how I'm saying it, just context to let you know I'm not really overthinking this moment, we're chilling, everything's fine. Once I see that they've received that, then, we start talking. So that's really how it goes most of the time.
I got a quick question. What's up with this astronaut helmet that we have not talked about?
Halloween, bro.
Halloween?
That was a Halloween that I just randomly, I was like, you know what? I'm going to put the astronaut helmet on. I'm going out the club, right?
Can I see someone wear it?
Sure, go ahead.
I just want to see.
You might take the headphones off. Oh.
Yeah.
You want to wear it?
No, I want to see Nazar wear it, no cap. It just captivated my attention. I just want to see what that's all about. Mr. Moondrip.
That's crazy how we got the astronaut helmet with the moon. Damn.
Big ass head.
It'll go in.
Yeah.
That's actually crazy.
Yes, sir.
Like a high tech version.
Like Daft Punk, bro.
Daft Punk. I was about to say Daft Punk.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That is beautiful. No.
You gotta get you one now, bro.
Headphones in here, bro?
Huh?
Imagine I had like headphones built into this shit.
That would be dope. That would be dope as fuck.
Podcast, but you know how
It don't stay up. That's one thing about
Dave
it.
got his glasses.
Yeah.
I want to do something like that and like make it work. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe it has a mic in it.
That was cool. I think one day with the way technology is going is like we're gonna have a visor like that, and we're gonna be in either virtual reality world, or we can be walking with sunglasses like him, and he can like surf the web while he's just walking.
I'm gonna let it go
he's
on
probably
record
searching through
right
shit,
now.
man.
On record, when stuff start flipping, I'm gonna stay in the old world, okay?
Me too.
I'm gonna be right there with you, bro.
In.
The thing is, bro, the reason, even as a computer science major, bro, I'm gonna stay low tech. Like, as long as what I have
It's about like
works.
just in nature, just like.
Because guys, virtual reality is changing. I went to South by Southwest last year, and I volunteered for the Departure Lounge and Monster Cat, the record label, for an artist named Whipped Cream, and it literally felt like how in Microsoft when they were starting in the garage and they were like starting Microsoft or Apple or whatever. I felt like that. Like we were just looking at everybody. It's like it's really, really low tech, but so advanced, and it's like it's scary because and I'm looking at a little baby in a woman's arm. I'm thinking, when you're my age, you're gonna be looking back at this, and you're gonna say like the same way we looked at the old Nintendos or the Game Boys, but now we got a fucking the what's it called, the Nintendo Switch. Like, bruh, this is gonna be scary, and that's another part. Like, and during that time. We're talking about how the saturation of how can we stand out as individuals. And that world, it'll literally be like Ready Player One. Like, how can we truly stand out?
As humans.
How?
I have a question, though. What if what we're doing works too well? Like, too well, too fast. People fuck with it. They need more. They want to see.
I think that's the big thing about, like, just the technology age in general, this is happening so fucking fast. Of like think about like back when like we had like the one home phone in the house,
the landline.
You know what I'm saying? And then now everybody got a phone in the house.
In their
you know
pocket,
what I'm saying?
bro.
That's what I'm saying. So like,
And the thing is, you can go back and see like recorded instances of people like the internet's not gonna be shit, phones are not gonna be shit, and they were very wrong.
You know what's crazy though, bro? To answer your question, I don't think we can stop it. I think people are gonna want it, but there's gonna be too much going on around.
How do we cater to that though? Like, is it not gonna make quality go bad, or do we just be those people like, no, we're not gonna drop shit until?
To be honest, I think it's gonna be. I mean, think about it. If you can open your mind to understand the religious story, or to some of us personal story of Christ, right? He was doing the exact same thing. You can offer someone something that is good for them, that can sustain them, that could get them creatively thinking, critically thinking, all these great things. But at the end of the day, they're always going to reject it because one looks better than the other.
You lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
Exactly.
So how do we make something that's so undeniable that they can't not take it?
I think you just be your true authentic self. I think
we show them that, like, It's like another anime I've been watching. It's a different idea on the whole development thing. It's Blue Lock. Have y'all seen it?
I've heard of it.
Okay, so it's very centered about building your ego. Like soccer is a team sport. It's based around soccer, and it's all about building your personal ego and like just being the best player. Like you are the best player on the track. Like the whole thing they're in is to be the world's best striker or whatever, and it's just about like when they're exemplifying themselves, their teammates are seeing that shit and rising to the occasion and doing the best they can do, and then everybody's just a cohesive unit on this field, and nobody had to tell each other what to do. You just had to be your best self, which is like, I don't know, people can relate with that. Like, if you see someone being very natural, like, you can either be envious, like, damn, I wish I could be like that, or it's like, damn, that's just a person like me. Like, I could just do that, you know what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
You know, I was just thinking, scratch what I just said, bro. Fuck all that. Let me tell you how we gonna do this.
Okay,
We have to take over the world, bro.
okay.
They create liquor stores for people that love to drink. They create smoke shops for people that love to smoke. We don't even have to create it. We have to get enough people on the same time, the same play, the same mission, and wax the world clean, bro. Because, for an example, like the one thing that's already doing it now is the dollar bill. We all know what time it is. We all know what's up. But, like, it's just that. What if we have that thing to where it's like, oh, that's what that is. Like, we may not be dominating the world, but we're a dominator. And they recognize it.
In this society, one thing that's going to, like, pop out at first is to have, like, a successful collective. Like, having a group of people being successful is not very common because people like the individuals. They like Drake. They like, you know, they want to idolize one person. But then you're not that person. Exactly. If there's a group of people, it's like, oh, I'm more like that dude, you know. I'm more like him. And it's like everybody's getting more connections. You're just more nodes to connect to, which is just going to open up the floodgates. And the bigger we can do that, like, once we can get a community that big on the same mission, which is going to be hard, but possible. I think it's going to be possible.
We just got to take College Station first.
I think so.
Which we see now. To be honest, we don't know how many people is here. Like, we're not looking up
but it's
every
exponential
day.
because there's every year new people.
Taking conversation out of positivity. I'm gonna put that in there too. Yeah. No hostile takeover.
Oh, yeah.
I was about to say, like, I was quiet. I was like, hey, this is not a good time period to be saying.
But like,
creative time
period. You've ever played GTA San Andreas, right?
Yeah.
You know how certain missions will help you unlock certain parts of maps.
Yes.
So, like, right now, it's big where we are, but this is just this part of the map. If we're in the Grand Stafford, then we're hitting up Toku, then there's other places that are starting up. We're pinpointing.
You're the same people at the Grand Stafford that were at Toku.
Exactly. And so that buzzes people from the other side, Houston, San Antonio, Austin. We franchise this, Moondrip, where everyone is on the same. They don't even have to, since everyone has a different
it's going to have to be based on individuality, but like that ego thing where it's like, as long as we know that, like the puzzle, like everybody's here to put their piece in. Like, okay, you're really good at engineering, your lyrics, your videos, everybody's putting their piece together, and then we can get that message out.
Everybody knows what Sony is, Universal. Well, how do you know that? You've never met any one of them.
Sure.
It's a faceless entity that has so much gravity. We have to get more gravity, bro.
And they've been you gotta like look into how the brands was doing it too.
Okay, some of these conversations we gotta have to happen off the record because this is but this is like every time us three we do these like this is like the mastermind is a term coined by Nazar.
The
is
first
like
recorded mastermind.
Yeah, this is actually quite literally the first. It's like every time we have these mastermind meetings, this is quite literally the quality and the content that we speak about and we talk about. It's like how we do things like this. How can we move forward? It's like this event just happened, and it's like now like there's another step after this that I'm already planning, but it's like okay, should I delay it? Should I start sooner? Like now I got to find the right timing.
We got to be in the mindset of just pulling the trigger though.
I want to pull it in spring. I want to do something like
Spring
this.
Spring is gonna be big. Spring is gonna be very big.
Because I think like for the rest of the like after Halloween, one thing I did notice over the years is like in terms of shows and all that, it's kind of withers and goes into the winter break. People start getting burned out. So it's like after October, after Halloween, everyone's like locked in on school, locked in on life. You know, it's about to be the end of one of the financial quarters. Yeah.
Well.
So spring, I think I want to do something again with this Grand Cyber Theater. What we just did, this spooky showcase, and I want more people. I want at least like 150, maybe 200 people in that door. But everything from now and then, we gotta like cater to like the B-Set showcase is a big part. Like that's how we can start doing a lot of like things, a lot of traction, a lot of momentum. He's been performing a lot. This was crazy. I woke up today and I was like dying and then like tired as fuck, right? And I get a text in the group chat and this motherfucker has an Instagram post with reels of the show.
He made that shit.
I don't think y'all really understand that this man has been on top of the traction of the social media of everything up for 4 or 5 months, like consistently. And that's why when people are asking me, it's like, why aren't you headlining? Like, I'm like, first of all, it's my first show. Let me humble myself. Okay. Headlining. Like, okay, cool. Second of all, this man has been doing a lot more than any of us. Like in terms of everything, it's quite literally very strategic and I am able to recognize it. And I want people to look at it and be like, wow, look at the things he's been doing in the past, just in the last 3 months. He has an album that he's about to come out with. Like, he's going crazy.
Bro, this year alone, I'm dropping 3 albums in 1 year. But a little context. I just had a crazy personal life situation change. My entire life has changed in the past. It'll be a year tomorrow. My entire life has changed. Since I touched back home, because I'm coming from Houston. I come back home, bro. To that point, which was like, what, February to now, I've made 3 albums. Like, the last time I've heard someone do that was like, what? NBA Youngboy.
NBA Youngboy. Yeah.
Like,
shoot, well, I was told you the other day, Larry June was one of the rappers I listen to a lot. When I started getting into him in like 2019, he dropped 7 projects 2019, dropped 6 in 2020, and dropped another like 6 in 2022. So like,
you know how hard it is to do that, bro?
It's horrifyingly hard, bro.
Like a single, yeah, maybe you can crank something out every week.
But 6 albums in a
year,
like
projects though, they have to be
miss.
cohesive,
and they don't miss. That's the thing.
Like they all slap,
and they slap.
It's like, and like it's just a mind. It's like flow state. You know what I'm saying? Like you talk about like Kobe and stuff like that.
That's what I think we're gonna see. This works when we can get into like a collective flow state. I want to be in that room where somebody's doing something. We're all on our own thing, and then it's just working telepathically. Like I just walk over. I'm like, okay, I need this. Like that situation is gonna occur very soon. But that's one of the things that's gonna like show us that, okay, whatever we get done in that type of mindset is going to show us like what we can really be capable of.
That's kind of like how I had this set up for that, you know what I'm saying? Like, exactly. Yeah, I got everything set up for music and podcasting or whatever, like cameras and everything. Like,
we
also got to get on documenting more, like documenting this.
What's on your mind, Daniel?
Bro, so you know how people go to therapy, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Most times people have to pay for that shit. Most all times. What if we create gravity meetings where it's an open door walk-in policy, but we're teaching you how to connect with other human beings? Because if you give them such a grand idea, yeah, you can 50-50. They might get it or they might not. Maybe the next go around they'll understand it fully. What if we can just break it all down? Like, look, I bet if I know you personally, it'll blow my mind, inspire me enough to do something crazy. And with you now knowing me, vice versa, now we're looking at each other like, damn, so I know you can do this and you know I can do this. What's stopping us now? Before, I would have never known. Because, like, what if real life, what if music isn't for me? I'm really good at it, though. But what if that's not for me? I want to get into movies. What if I just so happen to know a guy? Not just know his name, but I know him. Oh, yeah, he's cool with it because I seen how he do this, or I seen when she put the pocket right here, or I know this collective does this. Now I'm a part of something bigger. Like, we create a situation, because I was thinking, like,
those gravity meetings, we got to talk about that.
Like, with this whole winter season transition period, like, We can wait till the spring and do something crazy like blow the roof off the place.
Winter.
But why wait? Because there's already no one doing it.
Bro, and Vic just told me, bro. He asked me if I'm gonna be here because he was like, bro, he's trying to keep the energy going, like even when nobody's out here. Like that's also a different marketing strategy because, bro, over the winter we get the people who are out here. It's also like a quarantine type situation where people who are going to consume are going to go consume. People who are going to come create are going to find each other.
In the wintertime especially, bro.
Exactly.
Like everything is cold, everybody inside, you know what I'm saying?
And those people, like people who like to be uncomfortable.
Your merch will get crazier, and those that are here will reap the benefit.
We'll know what it's people. They're going to be selling for us. They'll be like, people pull up, they're like, oh, you Moondrip.
Bro, it's just like the plug. Like, even when he ain't got weed, he got weed. You know what I'm saying? Like he knows. Like at the end of the day,
he gonna put you on.
If he has a routine 3 blunts a day or 7 blunts a day, like if he ain't got no money, he's still smoking because he knows somebody.
It's crazy. I'm gonna say for me personally, like listening to y'all talking about the winters, like just made me realize this. Like a little context, like I was a swimmer for 10 years of my life, like very competitive, national, like I went to national championships, swam in Morocco at one point, very beautiful. But what I realized, what we were programmed to do in my club and what the seasons were like was going into there's short course and long course. So like, short distance and long, it's like Olympic size pools to regular size pools you see at a community, right? Mm-hmm. Going into winter season, we did something called winter training where you're not in school, maybe you're in break, but that winter training is the toughest training you'll face all year round. So what you'll do in winter training will show off in the end of spring towards summer. Mm-hmm. So the way I usually value myself and my work is I measure it by summers. Winter is the time where I don't usually have school or maybe I'll work. I will work, actually. That's what I do. But I put in a lot for music, and that's what I've been doing for college. And in the summer is when I'll see what I can do and what I've done. Mm-hmm. That's why coming off the summer, I've had music and I've discovered new ways to record myself. So now it's like going to fall, I felt comfortable and prepared for this show. I was telling like a producer that was at the show, I wasn't done with my set list until the day before the show. Like I quite literally did not have songs to perform because I was too busy wrapped up doing other things like for other shows and other bands and all that. But that's what's crazy. So wintertime, going into it, even in this college town, the traffic might die down, but the momentum should only be amped up. Because for me personally, I take that vacuum to hone in on myself and do a winter training. My mindset's like that. The music goes crazy. My music's going to go crazy in the winter so that by summertime, I'm a completely different person. By graduation, we're a different animal. Bro, so that's why I was saying spring is like, I'm going to do another event. But that doesn't mean that going into the winter, we got to stop doing all these things.
I don't think the spring would pop off unless we do this shit over the winter.
Bro, it has to be so many other things.
It's got to be ready, bro. People got to be like, this got to look like, bro, it's got to combine everybody's experience. So, like,
it's going to be like
doing 10 years, 5 years. We don't have 60 years of experience working on this shit.
I think that when's spring break? In March, right?
Yeah.
All right, people come around late January, late February, people are getting back to swing of doing social things. So I think like early March.
I'll tell you when it really pops off. I'll tell you. So, and even then, even then, I kind of want to. I know we're kind of putting people on game right now, but if we're gonna talk business like this,
I like talking business.
You can buy the free trial now.
You know what I'm saying? So it's been a good because this is crossed that 2 hour mark already.
That's crazy. It's crazy. Babe, talk about the game. I love business. Continue, bro. Continue.
Keep it pushing.
Oh yeah. So basically, like I see it more like summer, like end of like spring, like summertime. That's when it really pops off, and then you still have people who are still here. And then, like, still people, like, just stay around for a little bit. So that's when people are done with school, and got a little bit of free time to do stuff. And that's when, like, shows and stuff like that is a good time to do it. You know what I mean? When people are getting done with stuff. People graduate and stuff like that. So if they hear one last little thing going on in college, like, hey, might as well go out, see what's going on. You know what I'm
saying? This thing at the Stafford that we did, like, yesterday, there was 2 other parties I tried to do in May of last year. But they weren't as committed to it. And I wasn't in a place to be committed to it as well. Like, I was prepared to perform. I was like, okay, that jump started me to start recording. But the other parties weren't. They're actually, like, I'm not going to say the other parties. I think it was just like a lack of communication. And it just didn't happen. But I'm thankful because it would not have happened the way it did last night. So it's like, I like that. And then I really want to go into it because it's like The seasons, bro. I'm all about seasons. Everybody got their own different seasons.
Yeah.
Like I know,
I'm a seasonal.
I'm a seasonal. I'm a seasonal
Winter
man.
is my prime.
So like, that's why I always like the past like 3 years when I revamped the podcast. It's like I go like summertime learning some stuff and then like come back and like okay, we hop back on the podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so like kind of filling stuff in to do like when I'm not doing that stuff. You know what I mean? But also finding a way to stay consistent with it. You know, and like never really letting it like stop. You know what I'm saying? Like same way.
Yeah, I'm just excited. And I'd love to like we gotta come up with some ideas like going into the winter. Like what are some ways that we can like continue with this momentum and do more things like this so that by the time spring rolls around, like the saying I love to say, everybody will basically already have said yes.
Oh yeah,
that's what I want,
bro. We just have to leverage our network. We've been meeting so many people.
This is what this is right here,
bro. I don't look. I'm gonna just put it out there. I'm going to try. Fuck trying. Trying is not in my vocab. I am going to make a situation happen to where there's gonna be a networking party.
Okay.
Like no other context. Whatever you do, come on. We want it all. If you can cook, hey, let's throw down. If you can dance,
food in the mix,
show
it's
me.
gonna be too crazy.
Like everybody is gonna be, and plus, you know, because like realistically, the way to make that happen is have the right amount of money, have the right amount resources. If I'm getting a building or if I'm posted up at a friend's house, is it big enough? Like whatever, like it can be logically done. So the only thing is like, okay, how big do I want this to be? Okay, so then now we're talking about marketing. How am I gonna market this to become bigger or whatever? That's nothing I can do. I can do that in a week. And as to where if we're waiting on springtime, many things could have been done. Cause like, bro, in the summertime when we first met, bro, I was working at Brookshire Brothers, and they were telling me about Stage 12. They do this whole thing, and I'm like, man, I would have never known this had I been just living my normal routine, doing whatever. Like when I put myself in position in certain places, I learn things that I call them hidden knowledge, bro. Like you're doing side quest learning stuff. Like it ain't always about the main mission. Like when venture off in some other place, because spring might be the main event. But what about the filler episodes? They got to see the character development.
And I think that's where the BCS showcase comes in. And Sam and I talked about like that's kind of why like what we're gearing towards is that type of model system.
You said Sam like 5 times. I'm gonna give you his number by the end of tonight.
He's a very important individual, but this is like a model, and I'm a big follower on models because it's like if we build it up, anytime that we do something in the Grand Salvador must be grand. The next time we have a show, I want at least 200 people there.
Y'all watching Networking in Motion right now, honestly.
Like they sitting in on our meeting like we kind of stopped the podcast.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. No, bro. Like, yeah, we've been. That's the best part of the podcast, bro. Is that you can take it anywhere, bro.
I love our conversations, bro. That's crazy too,
we
bro.
actually,
You
like,
can
make
be
an action too.
Like, but this is how this is every time we have a mastermind meeting. Sometimes we goof off when you talk, and we like, we just like chill.
We're usually a little bit drunk too.
To the roof, to the roof, man. It's crazy, yo.
Shit, once we get the little red solo cups on the podcast out, you know what I'm saying?
It ain't nothing but cranberry juice for me, bro.
Yeah, you know, the little dirty apple juice for me. You know what I'm saying?
It's the night drive for me.
Night drive is crazy. The moon drop, though.
Moon drop for me.
It's the moon drop, bro. The moon drop. Yeah, man. But yeah, man, I don't want to.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
We don't want to take up too much time. So this
we're gonna take all your time. We're gonna take where you live, where you stay. You don't live there no more because we didn't came through at Big Moondrip. Oh, you heard me? You heard?
Literally, bro. If anybody listening, bro, literally.
You know what I'm saying? Oof, hold on.
Literally, bro. Everybody, just do what you gotta do to make this.
That was crazy.
I think everybody was really like, no matter who you are, there's literally a reason why you're here. Like, there's like a situation that's supposed to occur in the future that you're gonna be in that without you existing would not occur. I mean, there's many ways you can think about it, but like, I think that's a blessing.
We need to have a draft day.
What's up? Draft day?
A draft day.
How are we gonna do that?
Forget about anybody. Like, yeah, we're too smart. We can do stuff like this, but no one else is here to know about this. We can post this. It can grow organically. Cool. Let's put some force on this thing.
Yes, please.
For real.
Literally.
I'm gonna take snippets of this and I want to make reels out of it.
I'll be happy.
Yes.
I'll be happy if people organically fucked with it. But bro, we gotta we gotta like show people like.
I'm gonna start talking to people about you. Sorry, I'm interrupting. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead. Please do. Like I find myself telling people like, you know, I'm excited to tell people like, yeah, I do podcasts, and they're like, oh shit, what's your podcast, bro? And it's like, you know, it feels good like being able to tell people like.
Do you post on Spotify?
Yeah, Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, for just Spotify does now video podcasts on Spotify too, so you can watch.
Be on Spotify?
The video will be on Spotify too.
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Send me that link.
And Apple Podcasts for people who just only listen to podcasts. You know, I got y'all too.
Yeah, just show us the way to like after like you do the editing and all that, like the proper way to like broadcast it through the right channels, like how we can do it individually.
TikTok, we might have to make a TikTok channel.
Because that's what I'm saying. Like I want to put it on my reels. I want to take snippets of this and like just use that as marketing. Like you said gems, you've said gems. Like wow,
we getting out the scope of the podcast. We gotta.
No. Because bro, like I'm thinking about your original question. Like how can we make this like
he's
different?
a go-to guy. Like, at the same time, like
bro,
this is
like the
known.
vibe, bro. I see this nigga on a big ass chair.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? Like, bro,
yes.
I got a big chair right here, you
bro.
know?
Like, just keep doing what you're doing, bro. For sure.
Appreciate
I love it. I'm telling you, like it's like you're gonna be the go-to. Like every time there's an artist or a creative or entrepreneur,
I see people
emphasis
like,
on the entrepreneur.
They need to come to your podcast before entering College Station, so people already know who they are.
Yeah,
This is the check-in.
This is the check-in.
This
is how you get their name out.
Hell yeah.
Like I want to develop people through this.
Check-in. I like that. I like the way that sounds.
That's live.
It's
check-in
the lobby.
is crazy.
The lobby room.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute.
I just hear right now.
Bro, this just came to me.
Jackson podcast, check-in podcast. You know what I'm saying?
When you perfect your
That sounds
craft,
good.
amplify it.
Basically.
Like if let's say for an example, if I do podcasts and I'm trying to figure out what the next level is, okay, I can learn different techniques, get different equipment. Nah, let me hit the street with a mic. That was the next step. Okay, boom. Let me get in a place where it's heavy foot traffic. You gonna see me today, and you gonna get this work. If I'm a musician, I'm outside with my keyboard, with an amp and a mic. You're forced to hear this.
Did y'all know about the stand-up comedy nights too in College Station?
What are you talking about?
Bro, yeah, over shoot, I don't know if they do it at Third Floor anymore in Bryan because they closed. I think they closed down. But Monday nights at the Corner, I know they were doing comedy night on the second floor.
Hey,
that's art too, bro.
Yeah,
that's my second language.
Yeah, no, dude.
We about to see Daniel out there. He about to quit his day job, bro. About to quit music.
Bro, wait.
I want to see that shit.
Okay, wait. Let's talk about it. Like, cause like I got a little bit of joke bag. You know, I carry it around every now and then.
Go ahead.
But like, I might could do something with this.
No, but really, I got up there, man, and like it's you. People get up there like drunk or like kind of like have a little something on there, you know. Me. And like, bro, I mean, like you start railing off stuff. The cool thing is they have headliners come down from Houston and like Austin and stuff like that. So it's like, yeah, they have people come in to headline, so like they're gonna get like somewhat of a crowd in. But then like right after the headline is just open mic, so then people can like sign up on open mic and just get up there and give what you got.
This is at the Corner in Northgate.
Yeah, well, when it was at the third floor, they had headliners at the Corner.
I know third floor. They used to do it at the third floor. No.
Yeah, the Corner they just don't only have headliners at the Corner. It's just straight up open mic night.
That's beautiful.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
I was gonna I was trying to get into doing some open mic stuff. Just like not me personally, but hosting events like that. Maybe me personally too.
You can do that Vortex.
That's what I'm saying. Especially with this gravity meeting. Vortex is a spot.
Because I was thinking about like, you know how a gravity meeting and like if people are all in a circle and like there's one person that's speaking in the center. It is a huge thing. No, why wasn't it the core? And that's gonna be like the core. The gravity meetings. Be at your core. Like reach your core or something like that.
Bro, and the thing is just being in that room.
What is your core?
What is your core?
Just being in that room and seeing the art on the
Why
walls.
is your core? I'm sorry.
What core? You know what I'm saying? How is your core?
Oh, we got so we also.
You know what I'm saying?
Two things I want to say real quick. One, when people are in the room and they see the art on the walls, that's just gonna be stimulating ideas. So we just need that environment.
That's exactly why I got stuff like that on the wall.
Let them work.
That started a whole conversation.
Seen Bob
right
Marley and I went crazy. Like me, I'm like,
we're not gonna be in a blank room. And then what did you just say?
Which part? What was that time?
Did you say it? Say what you just said before.
Who is your core? Why is your core?
Yeah, okay. We have to pitch the idea of where'd the humanity go? He didn't.
Humility.
Yeah.
Humanity.
So we wanted to do a Moondrip ad.
Where did humanity?
Should that be on?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, you had the idea. Go ahead. I'll just
finish
it up how I said it.
I mean, it's based off of technology, bro. We all need it, but when we have time where we choose not to have it, the only thing that we're fighting is flesh. At that point, we're fighting flesh. We're fighting urges, stimulation, stuff like that. So it's like, not only do we have, how do you say, external forces?
External forces forcing on your individuality.
We have things that's already out of our control to manipulate. But the negative portion that we can manipulate is self. So, like, if I gave into self, I would have never met these guys. Because I could have came up with an excuse. Oh, man, something came up. Oh, my mom, whatever. But the fact that I was like, okay, I'm going to give into the connection of other human beings, crossing out of introvert into openness, really. It's like, now look at us. We have more humans in the fold. Ever since I've met these people, bro, I've met, and I said these people because it's an entity, bro. Like it's a body. You know what I mean? I've been meeting people that I haven't seen in years. Like that seems to be the key thing that I'm hearing now. Oh, I haven't seen you in such time. And all of a sudden, we're all here. Okay, what works with time? Gravity. So
it's all relative to your position.
It's all in real time. And what's crazy is, because we can't see the future, partially, it's all happening already. We just got to catch up to it. So like this when we get hype, that's our future selves. Like, yo, like you can't wait to see this, bro. Like this finna be hard. That's the hype. It's like, yo, I keep saying it, bro. History in the making. I don't know why I keep saying that. I've never said that more. I've said that more this year than I've ever said it before. I used to say, by the time I'm 25, I'm going to be a millionaire. I stopped saying it because life kind of worked a little different. But I see history unfolding, bro, because this has never happened before.
And it's crazy to hear from people who have been here, because I'm like, shoot, get
that vape from real quick.
Oh, yeah.
It's a brand new environment for both of us, bro. Like,
Me too.
I'm happy to be here, bro. I'm happy to be here. I'm just,
bro.
The timing is perfect.
I was born and raised here. I've been doing the exact same thing I've been doing since my journey, bro, is I've been to Houston on different life missions 4 times now. The first one was I was too depressed, first breakup, first love. You know how that go. Didn't know what life was. My brothers, who I haven't seen at that time for 13 years, all of a sudden, I was having a suicidal night. I was going to end it. I'm on top of the parking garage, North Point. On top of there. Whoa. Knowing good and well, I fear God, so I'm really kind of iffy about this situation. But at the same time, I'm so lost. This might seem logical, right? Brother calls me. First of all, I hadn't heard from you in 13 years. How do you even have my number? So I moved to Houston. I get into the thug life. I'm selling. I'm dope man. Yeah, that's me. Turned up, got women, got money, got cars. Whole new life. Cool. But that wasn't the route at the time. Had an overdose, came back home. Became a barber. Okay, I'm still doing music, but it's like life is really, I don't know what to think of life right now. I get an opportunity. Someone loves the music. Cool. Go back to Houston. Find out they just using me. They just want to benefit from me and not me benefit at all. In that time, I'm still in Houston. I meet my baby mama, fiance at the time. Things were going for 2 years. I have a little girl, the blessing of my life, the joy of my life. Didn't work out. I had to come back home. This time, I've been home longer with a whole new mind frame, with a whole new mission, with a whole new set of people around me. You can't tell me, bro. I had to try things out, when I say history is being written right now, bro, it's because I've seen different versions of history that could have been, the futures that could have been, and it seemed promising, but it never worked out. I'm not going back to Houston, goddamn, because I don't want to leave this. Because what? I've never seen this. I've met many creative people. Where are they now? Not in this room. Whole new season, whole new characters. Hey, I'm just trying to see what the finale like at this point. Like, I'm trying to get to the next season. Facts.
It reminded me of my story when I played football at Blinn. I was on a red shirt program
Yeah.
at Blinn, and so like basically like a year-long tryout for the team. And so we spring football and everything, working out throughout the year. I got on a spring team, and coming to the end of it, I had an okay performance, but at the end of the year and everything, I ain't make it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had to come back home. But again, like if I hadn't had that year of going to a new place, especially like a school,
Exactly.
not knowing anybody, having to make all new friends and stuff like that, and learn so much about not only myself but like about people too as well. You know what I mean? Just how to like move and how to move with people. It's like damn, you know, like you go away and come back and you learn so much more and like use that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To like put forth what you got going on next.
Yeah.
You know.
It's a lot of intentionality with it too, because then you see like, okay, I can really do whatever I want in this life. You just gotta actively pick the points that are gonna lead you in the right direction. Because you could have fun for 6 months, a year, and then life is still gonna hit you. Reality is always gonna set in. So you
like for real, like bro, I lost my car. It got repoed. I lost my family. I just lost my job. But I've been moving this week without a car.
4 shows in a
What
row.
my phone is off right now. Has been off for a year. You cannot call. I don't have a number, but I'm still well connected. Cause bro, wherever is pulling me toward, I have to go with it this time. I have to. It's calling. It's long overdue. Dang. So when we link up, bro, it's not just some link up to me. Like yo, what we finna do now? Like
You know what I'm
let's do it. Like bro, I haven't said no to anybody this entire week. Hey, we need you here. Oh yeah, I'm there. I don't know how I'm gonna get there. I don't know. I don't have a job. I don't know where money's coming from.
It's just coming to you.
Nigga, I've been getting plenty of drinks, plenty of smoke.
Bro, he just walk back up with a whole cup. Like, where did he get this?
As far as anyone's concerned, I am happy right now. In the most darkest time ever.
It's crazy.
The most darkest time.
You just said that a lot.
My mom, bro, to top the cake off, my mama yesterday lost her car. The dealership told her, I'm surprised you made it this far. If you would have drove any further, it would have blown up.
What?
My mom, keep in mind, that's my whole parent, my mother. She's coming to me. Hey, like, can you, like, I don't know the situation, but can you help me out on this payment? Because I want to get a new car, but like, and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, mama, yes, yeah, I don't know how, but yes. Turn back around, do 2 shows. I get a phone call. She's getting a new car on Saturday. And I'm thinking to myself, maybe it was never about the interaction that me and her had about that conversation of helping. But maybe it was just the willingness, the doors I opened just by saying, yes. There was no negative. Maybe me being positive made her positive and figure out a whole nother solution. Maybe. I don't know. All I'm doing is following the plan. And, bro, following the plan, that gravity move is serious. Because it take a lot to get up and do it, bro. It take a lot of gravity to fight against.
Right, man.
Bro, to live, you're fighting gravity every day, bro.
Every day.
Shit.
I didn't want to get up today, but I'm up, and look what happened.
You know?
Craziness. Nigga, I didn't go to sleep last night until like 6 in the morning. Got right up to be at that place at 10 or 11-ish. And I'm still pumping. I don't know if I probably won't get no sleep tonight. Tomorrow I definitely will. But tonight, now we turning up. We running it back because that's what gravity calls for, bro. Big step.
I'm so tired all day, but that's such refreshing energy. I had no idea. Like I think you literally just said, I'm happy in the darkest periods. Like I can't even comprehend you being in the darkest period because this man is nothing but light, and he's always portraying something good, and he's always smiling. And it's like, even at the show, like when you pulled up on Earthgate, and you're like, yeah, this and that happened, but I'm just happy to be here. Let's move. Oh yeah. And then on the way all the way to the spot where to meet with my friends, like random people, he'll talk to them, smile, give them a laugh, this and that. It's beautiful.
Everybody knows him. Everybody.
I try. Because there was a time where I am shy. If music was never my thing, y'all would never hear any. I'm anti-social. I do not. Music is the only reason why I'm on social media. Like I don't do anything else. Like, but like I'm learning. Like, yo, this gift is beautiful because it's not even for me. Like, this gift I have is not for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's to bring me into more people, to let me realize, yo, these are your people. This is your tribe, your clan, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, fuck anything else. Like, I can call you up and be like, bro, what's up? What you doing? Whereas before, I'm like, damn, ain't nobody check on a nigga. Like, my own family don't even call. Now it's like, yo, my sister just talked to me today. That's live. Small things, bro.
Mm-hmm. Goddamn.
Big Moondrip.
Yeah, bro. We made that 2 hour, almost 2 hour 30 minutes now, bro. But yeah, I think it's a good time.
Joe Rogan ain't got nothing on Moondrip.
Yeah, that's good. It's a good point right here.
We definitely have more to talk about, but
no, for sure. No, this is
because that's what we're gonna say.
All means that we gotta come back.
That's it, bro. It's step one, bro.
Bro, the part 2 is gonna be crazy. That when we have that shit, when we get set to do that whole, we gonna have a lot more motion, and we gonna be telling people like actionable steps on how to get connected.
This was just a perfect
This room
time,
is finna get upgraded, bro.
Yeah.
You finna elevate.
I'm excited to see your evolution and all this.
And I just upgraded it just this year. So
I'm just so happy that,
you know,
bro, like
the timing of it all. I'm telling you, the day after
crazy.
a show, you have us come on your show. I could not have comprehended that last week.
2 weeks failed. 2 weeks didn't work out. It had to be this week.
Really?
It had to be this
Interesting.
week.
Yeah, last week I was with family, and then yeah, it's like, and this happened.
I was supposed to work tonight at the Stafford, do audio engineering, but then my manager came in and he's just like, "Oh, I'm working," because I took the shit from someone else who's going to a concert. But he's like, "No, I'll take it." I'm like, "Okay, cool."
See how
It's
shit
like
work?
gravity.
Hey, this all started from that wine dropping at night. I swear, bro. I promise.
We on some shit about timelines. We gonna have to get on that later on.
Another time.
Another time.
For
Yeah,
sure.
before you get off, go ahead and drop your socials real quick.
Hey, it's weird, but follow me at wobleweeble on Instagram.
Spell it for him.
Oh shit, yeah.
It's such a beautiful. It's got like a little lion cub as a profile picture.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, it's like wobleweeble.
No,
I can explain
Exactly
the name
how
of
it sounds.
you know what I'm saying?
DanielSan, iam.danielsan with an A-S-A-N.
Yes, sir.
And I'm just Zayno Rayne, ZAYNO.
Man, the myth, the legend.
Zayno Rayne.
And on Spotify,
Shoot, go ahead.
Oh, same thing, but the difference is it's all caps. DanielSan.
DanielSan.
Same thing. The difference is there's a space between Zayno and Rayne.
Zayno. Yes,
Oh, yeah,
sir.
there's a space, too.
Yeah.
Oh, and then also Moondrip on Instagram as well. That's where I'm gonna start.
Ooh,
posting
say it again.
Mundoripo.
Moondrip.
Mundo, and that's what we gotta whisper. Mundoripo. Now we making anime now.
Yeah,
Like
it's got that little ring to it.
Bro, we could all be voice actors, bro.
oh no,
on
only
some
y'all.
shit.
In a world.
Bro, dead serious.
Only y'all two. Like I don't. I mean, I still
Bro,
to this
you
day like
could
I don't like the way
definitely
my
be a
voice
character.
sounds on the mic.
No, you gotta do it too.
I'm just here to have a great time.
I'm just happy to be here.
You could be.
Man, I'm just
You
happy to
could.
be here,
Yeah,
bro.
man, I'm
You
just
could
happy to be
impersonate
here,
Jamie Foxx. I feel like.
Do a sound bite.
Hey, okay, like come on. Try it.
I'll take the
Try it.
outtakes of the
Try it.
podcast.
Try it.
Shit
Look,
like that.
try it.
Try it, Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx. I gotta find Spider-Man.
Do like
No, he got
I ain't know that.
Hold on,
do
wait a
Nick
minute.
Cone Tyrone. You can do Jamie Foxx too.
No, he got that down.
He got it.
I've
down.
never done that. Like, that was kind of wild.
Do how he was doing in Dick Clone Tyrone, acting like the pimp.
Man, play it. Man,
What did he
you ain't shit. Like he said when he was talking to the girl when he was a pimp. He's like, man, you ain't shit.
I can do a pretty good Cat Williams. Every now and then, I ain't gonna do the whole thing. Yeah.
See, now I'm thinking too hard. Like, I'm gonna mess it up, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
No, but yeah,
just gotta catch
those
it.
comedy shits and the open mic, that's gonna really open us up as people. I think this opened me up,
Let's
opened
take it
you
over.
up, opened you
Yeah.
up. We done told
Yeah.
people things that
Let's do that at
we
the
wouldn't have
party.
told them before. So
Let's go. Let's
do
go
that.
find out about that. In that art
Shit.
club that Vortex Studios does every Friday from like what, like 7
Vortex
to
Art Club, you gonna see us there for
10.
sure.
Yeah,
7 to
art
10.
club.
Every
They got
Friday, 7
Vortex.shop is their IG.
for sure.
yeah. Vortex.shop IG drop. Shout out Vortex. Shout out the Grand Cypher Theater. Shout out Rob Hitchcock. Shout out Brian Causation. Shout out Barack Obama. Shout out Bob Marley. Shout out
Hey.
the Moroccan government.
Shout
Yeah.
out Muhammad Ali.
Shout out Muhammad Ali.
Oh, real quick. On a personal, serious note, hey, let's pray for Israel. Real talk.
For sure.
Let's make sure our people is kept
Mhm.
and they live a different reality
for
than we
Israel.
do.
It's a
Sensitive topic for
touchy
sure.
topic.
Let's pray for the people in that region that's going through the conflict, the civilians
You know what I'm
and
saying?
everybody who's
we
affected
just don't
negatively.
need that much human conflict at the end of the day. We
Mhm.
should just find a resolution.
You know,
That's all I gotta do.
life too short, man.
Big facts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but last, wait, you was
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say shout out Victor from Vortex and shout out Sam McSween.
Sam McSwain.
BCS Showcase.
My man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And Damian Flores.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah, shout out Damien too.
Hey,
And
most of these people might be on this podcast soon.
No, me and Damien overdue for doing something together too. Nice. So, but yeah, no. As always, been the Caleb Jackson podcast. You know, like and subscribe, and also follow them and listen to them on whatever they got going.
Moondrip.
What's up?
Can you hand me that sign real quick?
What sign? Oh yeah, hold up. Wait.
I think that's gotta be the way we gotta end it, low key. The middle people right here, they gotta hold it up. There you go. And then everybody just look at the camera. Everyone just stare at the camera.
Look at the camera like that, just
as a thumbnail type shit.
The thumbnail, just quiet.
Oh wait, right there. I was pointing at
that is a thumbnail. Should be your trademark.
Bottom merge.
Literally at the end, it's like ending it.
Big Moondrip.
Hey, thank you for having me.